both of these teams at the moment are tied. It is 2-3. So, and also both of these teams still need to play 2 series total. That's including this one, of course. Ooh, we got fancy lines, fancy lights coming out. We meet again. Whenever OG faces Team Nigma, it reminds me of when they first formed right before the Boston Major. You remember that, Kyle?
I do.
I do.
He does.
Yes, he does.
In my group.
Yes, but OG was in your group because where was Team Liquid? Then Liquid, now Nigma. Where were they? Where were they, Kyle?
The mics, the pressure.
Oh, they weren't in my group with the Boston Major.
Team Liquid, now Nigma, was not qualified. That was such a hype qualifier, actually, because VP qualified. They were Clash qualified. Like qualifiers were both Eastern Europe and Western Europe come together, and at Finum qualified and Secret qualified, I think, as well. And like it was madhouse, but the OG has been the gatekeeper of Team Nigma ever since then. So I think this series is very exciting. Typically, when these two teams face each other, the games are very even and very close, just like the first season when they face each other. Let's take a quick look at the standings and see how close they are right now. And guess what? I already said it. They're tied with the standings.
At 3 and 2.
Right now.
Tied.
Being shown. There we go. Woo!
Yay!
Yay!
I mean, I'm super excited for this one because both teams have looked fantastic this season. Both teams, obviously, also with a new addition of the carry royalty.
Yeah, I think the importance of this series is simply if you win it, you go 4 and 2. You're looking at potential future tiebreakers with Liquid for some position at going to the major, and losing it, you put yourself in kind of that awkward 3 and 3 with Brame and Secret, where it just gets unnecessarily difficult for the rest of the season. Maybe being put into a 3-4 position if Tundra is able to win as well, and then tiebreakers. But yeah, this is so important for putting yourself into just simple major contention.
Yeah, it's a must win.
What's wrong, Kyle?
Nothing's wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
I
boy said everything.
I was hype at the end of the last series, and then I just I took a nap. I wake up like, oh yeah, they're gonna play.
Well.
Finally. All right, it's a rematch.
Yes.
It's the TI Finals version 2 with so much on the If one of these teams doesn't do well, basically, whoever wins this series takes the baton.
The baton.
That they then need to go perform at the major. Because otherwise, there's a very good chance that we see this exact matchup in the TI qualifiers with only one team actually being able to go.
Do want to point out, though, whoever wins here in this series right now, there's still a chance they're not going to major, because if you win here, you are guaranteed either major or tiebreakers. So you still are playing for your own fate, but it's not guaranteed that you'll go to major. There's actually a chance that these two teams will face each other again next week in the tiebreakers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
we love that.
We get a rematch. But no.
We do.
Refreshing.
Let's say Secret were to win, they'd go 4 and 3. The loser of this one. I mean,
Math.
I just thought I'd let him do his thing. You know?
The big thing is to get the group stage berth, because both these teams are pretty low on points.
Yeah.
So group stage, 300 points means you need points at the major, but like a respectable top 6, top 4 might get you in versus having to go and win.
Yes, and at the moment it looks like Team Liquid obviously looks like they're on top because they are 4 and 2, but they still have to face OG. There's actually a chance still of a 4-way tie for the 3 spots, and nobody knows who's going to the group stages of the major, who's going to the wildcards, or who's not even going at all. It's very exciting. Let's start by talking about OG. We saw them last week. They had a fantastic series against Team Secret. We saw Saxa's clock pop off.
I'm happy you brought that up, because I feel, that series was pretty much Satsuka's kind of demonstration of why he's in the team. Obviously, there's a lot of people who use social media and naturally like to use a scapegoat scenario, and they're always, poor, unfortunately, when you're not part of the TI winning roster.
Where's Derek's?
Exactly. Well, when's he's playing Dota again? But that series was his kind of shout to I am clearly meant to be in the team, and it was like 13, 12, and 29 something on that clockwork. I'm hoping for that level of performance again, and then having him with that confidence going forward, because they looked so scary in that season because of how well he played.
They really did.
They're definitely growing as the season progresses. You can see they had some pains with Ana adjusting. The flow of the team is much better with him, but this is really, I think, the big test, because ultimately the winner of this is going to have a shot at second place. It's a big boon. I don't think anybody wants to play the wild card, even one of these teams. You got 2 squads from China coming in. Just looking like maybe there's like an Elephant and LGD. I mean, IG major winners are quite likely, if not making it at all, in the wild card of the major. Good luck.
It is a scary competition indeed. And we have seen Anna back on the playing field, and he looked very, very good. We have not yet, however, gotten the chance to sit down with him until very recently.
Nisha steps outside of the fountain. The stuns come out for Sax, and the death trap from Matsu will come off. They'll give Nisha the safety to get back in, but Poppy, he just gets found and dove here. It's Anna's speciality. This is the place that he revels in. Diving into the fountain, over towards Matumama. They brought back for this.
They asked me if I was still interested in playing. It will be with the same guys anyway, so I just thought, why not? Just give it a shot. I didn't really play any Dota until I got to the boot camp. I mean, I don't think I'm at the same level as I was before, but I pretty much just said yes, and I definitely think like I need to work on my own skill right now.
Dying, top step. Yozo, they dropped got the Oh, that's all 3 ults. That's all 3 ults. That's all 3 ults. No. And gone. Nothing achieved there.
So right now we're tied in 3rd place, but I haven't really thought much about the match, to be honest. But it's obviously really important for both teams.
But they're falling apart one by one here, Secret.
Absolute. Oh my god, dude, this.
I mean, they're chasing this with the rush.
The juxtapose.
We try not to think too hard about like how we want to play or like what heroes we want to play. It's just like whatever you feel in the moment, like just go for it. Like however you feel.
I mean, Yapsor certainly making them work. They're in. Yapsor goes down. It's a full team wipe. OG able to pick apart everything.
Yeah, it looks like Anna is ready here to face a Team Nigma. And, I mean, he is. We saw him last week. He says he's no longer in good form. Look pretty good to me.
Yeah, I think the main takeaway from that interview is the fact he's saying, you know, they just play whatever they feel in the moment.
Yeah.
And that honestly is what kind of makes and breaks OG, where sometimes that moment, whatever they pick is like, oh, it's game winning. And other times it's like, you really went for that? But like, I think it's just the confidence of aligning themselves with that is really what, you know, pushes the team forward.
Yep. Let's focus our attention to their opponents, Team Nigma. They have looked really good. They started this season so strong, Kyle.
They did?
They did. Jesus, you gotta give me more than that.
Okay, Kyle, just quick workshop.
They 2-0 Team Secret,
Shiva,
smashed them.
We have to do the workshop. So it's yes and Kyle.
Away.
Yes and.
So, all right, go on.
Thank you for the mid-panel tips. I appreciate it.
There we go.
I would say that was also a bit, I don't want to call it a fluke, but that was not the same Team Secret. And we also saw Nigma kind of riding that high. They were coming in hot. They had a lot of time to prepare for the new season. I don't want to put too much stock into that because they've been shaky since. This is the match.
Production's just helping you with the ands now, don't worry.
This is the match.
And?
You know, it's just, I can't focus.
This is the match that what, Kyle?
Production's just trolling him so much.
This is the match that what?
It counts. It's big. It's the TI finals, guys. We only get this once a season.
I will finish the sentence. This is the match that will solidify if Team Nigma is actually good at the moment. Because you're saying that they haven't really needed to prove themselves that much because oftentimes it wasn't necessarily them winning as much as the other team losing.
I think the big storyline is just ILTW, right? Because, you know, I don't think Sox is not new, but he's the one man out when you look at the OG roster. Same with ILTW here on the side of Nigma. They moved Miracle back to mid. Relatively controversial decision. It's worked out for them in the past. Will they continue to do so? I think a big part of that is ILTW, who has looked good. His Void's been on point. I think he's done his job, and their losses are just more due to just how damn close this region is in terms of skill level and strategy development.
Yeah, it's been a very close region indeed. We're going to also hear GH talk about the Middle Eastern Dota 2 scene.
Breaks Tofu is the one who breaks on. Ace immediately jumps forward. Oh, goodness. There goes Curl, but he buys back almost immediately. Rasmus down to about half health. The Ice Blast is going to come through.
Well, before the game, my friends were really supportive all the time. My family didn't know much about it because here in Lebanon, like I guess anywhere in the world actually, being a gamer, like my generation being a gamer, it's a bit dark. A lot of the older generation doesn't know what to expect or think that they're children or like families are wasting their lives or they're doing something non-productive, they always want you to become a doctor or a lawyer or something like that. I think this is a classic for any country, but in Lebanon a bit more, because here in the Middle East the gaming scene is not really developed, because I think partly the mentality is a bit older, and the second part is the technological development of the country and the countries around it. So that's the second part. But it's slowly getting there. For example, you can see a lot of pro players coming from Lebanon or from Jordan or from Egypt or all these countries, or from UAE. All these countries have a lot of new support to them, and a lot of eyes are being put on it as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of up-and-coming talent from the Middle Eastern region for sure, and which is actually kind of interesting, because it used to be Sweden and Eastern Europe that provided most of our up-and-comers, but we have seen a little bit of a shift.
Yeah,
right?
I think if you just look at lower division alone, you've got Noob on Level Up. They just qualified for upper division.
They did.
You have Rajix playing offlane for Team Board. Like, these are the two guys that also played with GH in national teams in Lebanon for stuff. So you can see how he's also kind of imparting his knowledge and then helping those guys get a bit better. And now they're also in lower division, upper division. So yeah, it seems looking pretty good.
All right, for this series, Kyle, is there a clear favorite, do you feel?
I don't know, honestly. It's pretty tough to call. I think it really just depends on which team you're supporting right now. Really hard to expect something from the draft, because I think that even you can check out their Dota buff, study as much as you want. These squads have such large hero pools, you have no idea what to expect.
Yeah, it will be fun to try and break down the draft that we've got coming your way, because we all know that they always have their own plans and their own rules, and we're going to see it in action very soon, because the draft of this best of 3 right around the corner. round of this best of 3 coming your way here. Dreamleague Season 15, powered by Intel, upper division of the Western European DPC League. And yes, we already know who takes the crown, but who will be the bridesmaid? Is that how I say it? No?
What the?
Who will
What are
be
you
third?
on? What are you on about?
Just second, third, and
Who's
fourth.
getting married?
It's fine. We have a draft ahead of us. We got OG, we got Team Nigma, and we have bans so far. Here's also Kyle and Teaguff. I got Asian Apparition again. First phase picked. Aya Willow ban. Alchemist Lion ban. Very different from our previous series.
Big winner from the last time we saw Nigma. Of course, Miracle wasn't playing, but this time Miracle is going to be playing. But when RMN stood in for them and played a mid bristleback, even though sure it was a stand-in scenario, that hero alone, just it was so strong.
Dude,
and
the bat as well, though.
Yeah, and I've checked Miracle, and he has been playing a couple Bristle games in his pops. So maybe RMN stands in, plays mid Bristle, suddenly Miracle's a fan. I would love to see it at some point in this series.
Yep, I like the opening ban and pick is just kind of what you expect when you've got teams and captains of this experience level. Alchemist and Wisp specifically are game breakers. However you play them, they completely alter the way you need to be playing Dota. AA denies a lot of the sustain heroes, notably Bristleback as an example. You won't really want to play it as much into an Ancient Apparition. The Warlock Tiny, pretty solid open. That could be GH, that could be Miracle, and realistically, it could even be ILTW on the Tiny.
Also, I love how every time Noto drafts, it looks like he's got 2 bodyguards behind him.
He does.
Of course, one is coach, one is manager, but just the posture alone, it's... Whew.
Hey, he might need bodyguards.
And that is a... Wow, okay. So Thompson's been playing Hoodwink, if I'm not mistaken.
Can confirm, and crunch the numbers, it's been in the pubs.
Indeed. Sox as well could be playing the Hoodwink. Now, I've only really seen this in NASA. It's a core, I think, more often in South America. In NA, Quincy Crew ran it quite a bit. MSS is a very proficient Hoodwink. A lot of early game potential. Your spells just seem to do too much damage. In addition, I think it was Fog telling me watching Thompson stream. He just had, no, it was BSJ was watching him play core mid Hoodwink and just went off about how this entire game. What are you doing, T-Gov? T-Gov is literally dancing. Sorry, guys.
I was excited.
He was dancing on his stream, consistently outplaying his opponents. A really annoying squirrel.
However, whenever OG picks it so far, it's always gone to Saxa.
Yeah, well...
But I guess flex pick.
Exactly. That's what's really coming into play here. Yeah, in regards to Nigma, of course, they kind of somewhat block the Tiny because AA Tiny, of course, is a very potent combination. But I like how, at least with this Hoodwink pick, it's non-committal damage that they're looking at, right? They're going to be playing from like Bushwhack, Sharpshooter from a distance. AA can just apply Vortex to amp that damage. And now it's like a lot of poke and prod. So here is like Tiny, where they need to initiate. If they fail that initiation, they're instantly able to retreat, lock them in place, and then just kill them up quite quickly.
This will be the first Tiny for Team Nigma of the entire Season 2 of the DPC League. They play Warlock a bunch, obviously, but first Tiny.
Very Kuroki hero. Yeah. It's real chill. Probably the most fun hero to play captain.
Maybe they've seen they're Radiant. Maybe they've seen the toss.
That's true.
Into the tree line.
I was
just shouting myself out there, but you know, maybe they've seen it.
Well, even if they did, I don't think they're gonna do it.
I mean,
it requires you to be a lot of time away from the lane, right?
No,
and 2
not
people
at all.
need to be.
No, you do it quite quickly. You're with the lane. The point I'm making is basically you can toss range creeps into the trees so that you always have an advantage.
You should definitely do that with the first one.
Yeah, no, that's the point. You just do it for the first wave. Get level 2. But anyway, most likely we'll just be a Tiny mid just to not overcomplicate the situation here.
Yep. All right, we got a lot of thought being put into these bans because
OG's actually banning out mids as well. So I think it is just going to be a Tiny 4. Okay. I guess in most scenarios for OG, when they get to the draft where they go, all right, X player, please tell me what you want to play right now. They pick it and then they instantly ban what the person wants as well. So most likely this is Thompson going, if I'm playing a mid Hoodwink, I don't want to play into a puck or heroes that have their own disjoint to deal with the kind of slower stuns and type of damage that this mid Hoodwink will apply. I guess Kite is the key thing.
Yeah, a lot of time being spent. I feel like we've seen this a lot as the season's dragged on. More and more time being spent on the middle bans than even the picks, because typically during this phase, you're already game planning for what you want to do and how your draft will complete. So notably, this Hoodwink and the Tiny, what will they be? Are they going mid? Are they playing 4? So far, it does feel like OG, as you stated. Based on this, Ben. Okay.
Oh.
PL. That'd be an interesting. I thought Nigma would potentially look at picking that up. What actually beats Hoodwink?
They're simply banning heroes that remove the bonds. They want to ensure that this Warlock, has just an ability to annoy that carry. And Legion, PL, they might even look towards like a Slark as well. Because if it's a tiny 4, playing into Slark is going to be difficult. Like maybe a Baden, depending on what strat OG wants, but yeah. Then they ban out 2 staples pretty much. I think Miracle's playing an exceptional puck, and of course RTW, his Jug and Void have been kind of the 2 highlight heroes so far in DPC.
I like the Void ban too, because again, Warlock's real ultimate is Fatal Bonds in a lot of ways. Void is more of a lower damage hero, but you provide obviously a ton of control. Fatal Bonds just is a built-in steroid. It doesn't necessarily make the Void stronger, but suddenly you don't need to worry as much about your damage and chrono.
Yeah, the key thing for Nigma here is break mechanics are pretty hard to come by. So naturally, when you think of a patch that is driven by Vanguard buyers in the offlane, potentially the Bristleback mid, these heroes will just feel a little bit underwhelming when they are broken by this ultimate, be it a core Hoodwink or be it support.
Yep. Definitely no Bristle. That hero is 100% dead.
Especially with the AA as well. Like, it's so hard to pick frontliners right now. Thank you, Fog.
Fog's
What did he say?
No, yeah, Fog was egging Carl on to say damage manipulation. It's what OG has thrived on during multiple TIs.
Nice American accent.
Thank you.
I was not going to say
I've been working for Carl some time.
I would hope that the viewers
I know his
would
mannerisms
know that
now.
By now.
His effective HP pull.
Oh my god.
All right, we are out of this second ban phase.
Forgot about Solar Crest. And Vlad's. Vlad's is underpicked, just saying, as is Drums and Veil. But that's a whole other story. Veil, I think, is one of the more underutilized.
Veil's nutty.
It's what, 1575 goals?
Spell amp.
18% spell amp. Nobody picks it up. You can start with a Bassi, it makes it barely over 1,000 gold. It's like, come on, guys. But that's why I'm on the desk. I like the Centaur band because to your point, you're not picking it if you're Nigma. You're not picking it in this game. What the hell was that? What was that?
What was that?
Was that Clockwork?
I thought that was
not
injuries
the
for a second.
Oh no, it probably was one of the lines, one of the voice lines.
Was that a voice line?
Was it a voice line? It must have been a voice line.
What?
Well, I mean,
What
that's
voice
an
line is
entry.
that?
They stole the Clockwork from OG. That's what it was like. Bam!
Yes.
No, I don't know.
I mean, it's solid. It's the same reason we liked it when Alliance picked it up earlier. It's good for scouting heroes that run through trees. Monkey King on the side of the Smashers, and this time it's the Hoodwink. Also very good at hunting the AA.
Okay, yeah, now it's
Mid Hoodwink.
every single pick now, bam, being given a bit more emphasis.
I think it's on our side.
It is very much our side, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're adding some layers
The
to this draft.
NASL sound guy somewhere in the building.
He's loving life.
All right. So we got the Clockwork, the Warlock, and the Tiny, and that means that which one of those other than Warlock is the core?
I think, yeah.
Tiny then?
Yeah, so Tiny right now will be your mid lane most likely. I think the key thing for OG in their style of draft now is it's going to be Satsuko on the Earth Spirit, rolling in, being the sacrificial
Are
lamp.
you sure about that?
It could be Thompson's Earth Spirit.
That is true.
Are you sure? It could be Thompson Ancient Apparition.
That's true.
It could be its option Hoodwink. Who knows? Sorry, T, go for it.
So yeah, like I was saying, the key point, no matter who's playing it, Earth Spirit will be the one initiating the fight, allowing everyone else. So whoever is playing Earth Spirit, they will be the sacrificial lamb in this draft. They will be down a couple times to unlock the type of damage, which is non-committal backline damage. So Nigma, they identify that where it's basically one go in, backline's undefended. They have Darkseid to help the Clockwork get into the engagement, and it's a lot of backline jump.
It's also a pipe buyer, which is always nice. You can secure like AA, you can surge away from the cold feet, of course, and more importantly, I think that when we heard this from Kuro. What do they like to play? They like to play fast.
Yeah.
They want to be aggressive. That match you mentioned against Secret was their reveal of the Darkseer and the Sand King mid from Miracle. That was one of the best matches I feel like they've played. They won the game in 25 minutes. This is the style that I think allows this team to reach that S tier status. In theory, they'll also be able to ensure Mind Control actually has a good game. When they lose, it's typically because he gets sacrificed.
Okay. Wow. All right. They go for the Medusa. So I guess my main concern for OG in their lineup so far was simply what is their win condition. They have a lot of skirmish and fight, but like this has to be a core Hoodwink in my opinion. They need to be able to buy items to have wave clear.
Yep.
Because outside of this hero, no one's going to be pushing out waves. And if it's a support hoodwink, you just don't do enough damage to clear out the wave without Veil.
What's the Seb hero?
The Seb hero, well, they don't have last pick in the draft.
Very bad axe game.
I mean, Seb normally does play the tanky ones, right? So it's just not picked up yet?
I think Bloodseeker is a very good ban for Nigma. I think OG, that would work really well for OG.
They ban out Magnus.
It's all about movement right now. Even maybe a Mars as well could be pretty good just for like area control. If they initiate, you drop the arena, you Medusa fortifies position.
Yep. They could also... I mean, Omni and Baden are still in the pool. It's quite nice when you're playing against Warlock, removing the bonds and the word.
Ban Drow, okay.
Both of those solid bans, because they would give Nigma's output, damage output. Like, the Drow allows you to play really fast. The AM means that they'd eventually win in the late game.
So in this regard, then you have two options, right? With a Drow ban, you might look towards like a Tide Hunter as an option, where you just go for more. We'll have our front line.
I think Mars is more likely. I agree with you, but I think in their concept, they just want a frontliner. They want a little bit of team fight, lowest cooldowns possible.
I just want, personally, I think Bloodseeker. That's what I would love to see. Have a bit more laning presence with the Earth Spirit, give him some kill potential. And then right now it's 4 protect 1 with Nigma's style. There's a lot of elevation of kind of putting one hero up into the fight. If that guy gets ruptured, it's going to be hard to, you know, really help him without then getting hit by the rest of OG spells.
And the question is, what does Nigma go for? I could see Troll being a possibility, but no, not really. Not in all these kiting spells in the AA Ultimate.
There it is. There's the Bloodseeker.
Good
they
draw,
have amp on amp on amp. And Fogged, I'm going to pre-warn you, he is going to salivate at this draft, and he is going to spend at least 2.5 minutes of his cast talking about how AA and Bloodseeker and everything together is going to hit a combination of Hoodwink having a good time.
There's a draft that's going to buy a Veil. It's going to be this one. This is an absurd amount of spell damage that can pop out, and I believe we'll hopefully see the first mid Hoodwink of this entire upper division DPC.
Yeah, that would be hype.
It's possible that it's still the Earth Spirit, but I think it's much more likely that it's going to be Hoodwink here. Now, Tiny's likely on Vim for Miracle.
Yep.
See how well his Sumail impression will do.
They just go terrible. Wow.
Wait.
Okay.
Who's that for? Is that LTW?
LTW, yeah.
LTW. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If you're saying Miracle's going to play Tiny.
You're right.
Yeah.
No, it's just...
All right.
Yeah, and Thompson the Hoodwink mid. All right.
Okay, so in regards to Nigma, they last picked this Terrorblade. It is a hero that can lane against the type of damage of OG because you have the Warlock behind you. Without Warlock, it's kind of hard to pick this hero into the spam of Bloodseeker, but Earth Spirit doesn't apply as much pressure. So yeah, TB should have a pretty good time farming, and it's all about hitting that 20 or so minute timing, running over the map. Because eventually, this amp, this high ground defense from OG is scary.
I'm afraid because OG, how do you... Nigma need BKBs. They need BKBs, but at the same time, their whole draft has like one method of catching heroes. You're gonna run behind the clockwork. Maybe Miracle pops off because his Blink Dagger timing effectively determines how aggressive they can play.
Yeah.
But I'm really... OG has it's experience-based damage. You get levels, cast spells, you kill heroes.
Positioning is key. If they ever misstep and they don't protect their backlines, that's when Nigma will run wild in this game, and it will just be a slaughter where they're just picking apart all these heroes. Like Hoodwink will feel squishy. So I think if OG gets through that phase and has items to cushion that, then it's going to be a very close, even game of just who gets to jump, etc. But yeah, I'm excited for this. This is good.
And is this for Team Nigma? We said we heard Kuro say they want to play fast. Is this a lineup that they can play fast with, or don't they need to? Because
100%.
Terrorblade,
they can play fast.
They can play
It's going to be a lot of early fighting to give TB the room to farm. When he gets to like SMY +1, maybe even like a Skadi or a Butterfly, that's when he'll be like, okay, I'll join in the fights too every time, and then they'll be pressuring. And that's where OG needs to capitalize on that and have the good counter plays and the big 1, 2, 3 spell damage jump up. Folks will talk to you about that. I don't want to spoil it.
Just zoom in on the mid lane. All right.
our commentary team. I've already picked someone, Fog.
Indeed, we are. Should be. That are going to be running around all the while you have Anna farming away on the Deucer, ILTW on the Terrorblade. You know, this game, it's got all the parts covered. We're going to have team fight. We're going to potentially have the big beefy late game carries. We got it all.
This is gonna, you know, they're saying the battle of the mids. You know, I'm excited for Hoodwink versus Tiny because I haven't seen the matchup really. I don't know how it's gonna go. Tiny feels like he's gonna farm just fine. You can also use your Quelling Blade to cut the tree when you do see if the stun is coming for you. But I think this is the battle of the fours. The way that Sox has been playing for the side of OG and the way GH has been securing stuff, and I'm really liking Clockwork right now. So I'm looking at these two, seeing what they're gonna be able to do inside early game because I feel like their positioning is gonna be so crucial to disrupt these big team fight combos that will be coming out, especially from the side of Team Mako. We have Darkseer and Warlock. These two heroes have been always known as these kings of team fights. So let's see if OG can break it up. And of course, I have to talk about what T-Governor was saying. Testing out a lot of things inside of lobbies, just having some fun with Spell Amp and all that. Sharpshooter with Blood Rage and Ancient Apparition Vortex, you can do some ridiculous damage in the later stages. Just looking at the numbers, they'll build toward it as well. So we'll see what it all comes down to, and we'll see how much damage it is going to be able to do, especially for something like Terrorblade. Pre-BKB, like there's some one-shot potential if he is fully amped up. I want to see a Veil on the side of OG too, so we will see what we get going.
Oh, here we have it. Nigma ready to look for some action already. Oh, it's a big fatal Bonds are on the fourth, and they're on top of Saxa. GH, he will go down, but Saxa's going to be the first to fall as Nigma claim first blood.
GH gets the kill, Topson gets the rebuttal, so Topson will be enabled nicely. Now, I'm gonna be watching at mid and the 4 positions for the most part. Side lane still definitely will be a bit exciting, but it's a Warlock with a Terrorblade, so we'll see lots of heal sustain. Bloodseeker also, lots of heal sustain. And we'll see what Soxa does with these early movements. Instantly TPing top.
Okay.
So wants to secure Medusa's farm right away here.
And how long will this sort of last with the 3 of them up here? But like you look to the bottom half, is Seb going to struggle a lot?
They've done this quite some times. I've seen them do these kind of things a lot of times when they see a passive hero like Warlock that can't actually force a hero out. So, you know, I said one of the times that they were actually going to break it up early on, but they actually don't. You know, they like to just leave this kind of tri-lane action when they do have these super carries on the side of OG.
Sure. Because down bottom, as Seb, he can deal with the pressure here from the 2 of them. You know, Terrorblade, Warlock, not the most threatening of lanes. Obviously, a very safe lane for ILTW, right? But nothing that should be killing Seb whilst he's on his own.
No. Unless he just steps up just way too far. He will have struggled to get some last hits because we will see Kuroki just follow him around, but every time there's a Blood Right, he secures that range creep. So far, so good for Seb.
All right. And then, yeah, you know, overall, as we were saying, it's exciting stuff draft-wise from both teams. Yeah, I got to ask, who's do you prefer? Who do you think has got the better draft here?
Oh, it's tough to say, really. Like, these Terrorblades have been very impressive lately for me, but Medusa at the same time, too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or GH.
It's really close as GH. The tri-lane, they will be able to get the kill with the 2 supports, and they keeping them off of the wave. Ana getting full free farm up there. I gotta be honest, I'm a little worried just because like Terrorblade, I feel like he could just get one shot at from like sharpshooters and tree line. So eyes on him for BKB timings and stuff like that. And if they get the pipe early on and mind control, Nigma could set the tempo, but it does feel a little scary if it does get to later stages.
We're gonna definitely need to see some sort of sacrificial plays from Nigma with bodies being thrown in between the Terrorblade and the sharpshooter.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, you know, we're gonna see some real sort of teammate plays this game.
Yeah. And they do have some ways to be able to play around cogs in particular. That's the one thing I did see. Clockwork got picked up. Instantly, they picked the Earth Spirit. They already have Hoodwink, who can use Sharpshooter to bonk himself out really quickly. Earth Spirit, you can kick the Clockwork out, even save some buddies by rolling into cogs and kick your teammate out. So, yeah, lots of different fun stuff coming out. This game is GH again.
GH! Oh,
he's able to get away.
He's all right, but he's, as you said, he's definitely sort of drawn the short straw, right? He's playing into the lane where there's one of him, there's 2 supports on OG.
Every time he gets low as well, that's where we see Seb able to thrive a little bit more bottom. The thirst stacks builds up, he's able to actually trade some hits with Kuroki and contest.
See the 2 of them trying to get aggressive onto Saxa. Mind control.
Mind control's low.
He's got to be a little careful as well.
Stay.
Ana just steps across and mind control. Pop and Verify won't save him.
And now GH as well. He's just going to go down.
Well, I think that's the easiest double kill Ana's ever had. And, well, you know, if you watch his pubs, he's had a lot of easy double kills. But, well, there you have it. Just handed to him.
Yeah. Mid so far, fairly even. Just kind of trading that farm back and forth. The low armor of Tiny. Topson's able to get some nice harassment there. And we haven't seen any rotations, at least toward these runes just yet. GH actually looking like he's going to swing toward mid. Maybe going for a toss-back play, it looks like. And Soxa suicides himself.
And so from these mids as well, as you said, you've been seeing Topson sort of crushing it in pubs on this hero.
Couple times.
You expect sort of what just the full playmaking build-up. Oh.
They cut the tree. They stop the stun.
They've got him trapped in the cogs.
But he gets out quickly.
He's away. GH tries to dive in, but the Fairy fires up, and with the TP over from Saxa, GH won't move in anymore. Thompson's going to be fine.
The 2 games I believe that I saw, Miracle does have to be a little bit careful. Stun.
Oh.
Will connect.
Oh, hello.
Roll is off, but might still just go down
He's
the
in with the
toss.
top. Oh, it's close. Oh my goodness.
He gets him.
We're getting these moves already here. The sort of the 1% HP plays as he'll survive. Thompson not quite able to get that. Let's see if, okay, Saxa's fine. Able to get to the high ground, roll away.
And both offlaners, I think, are the ones that really have drawn that short straw. We see Mind Control. He's level 4, 12 last hits. We see Bloodseeker Seb, also level 4, 9 last hits. So they're the ones going to be struggling to get some enhanced timing for themselves.
Sure. I guess that's more expected in Seb's situation. So the fact that he's kind of close to Darkseer is not bad for him, seeing as he's been on his own down here.
Yes. Meta is used at the moment here. Trying to put some pressure. Saxa, roll off the mark there. Can't quite get any aggression onto KuroKy. I like that I've been seeing this more and more. The reflection early on these Terrorblades too. Just being able to use your mana, utilize it, and if you do see any pressure coming your way, it is just nice. It's nice to be able to utilize like the Bassi aura that the Warlock does provide.
See GH in Mind Control, trying to get aggressive onto Ana. Unlikely to have anywhere near the damage though, Ana. Oh,
you actually get on top of him though.
With these snakes, though, giving the mana back.
It's doing pretty good.
I mean, Ana's standing his ground. He's feeling confident in the backup that's coming in. The Saxa's in. Roll forward onto GH. They're going to be able to take down the clock. GH goes down. Mind Control has to hide in the trees. You saw there just the confidence of Ana and his teammates. He can stand his ground, get the hits in. Mind Control.
They know he's still up here.
He's got to hide. He does have a TP.
They did the scan on the south side, so they know he didn't go that way. But yeah, maybe expecting him to have TP'd out. As Miracle now making a rotation. He's smoked up.
Oh, and Ana's still low. Miracle, is he able to get in on this? Tossed into the avalanche. He's got one. He's going to be able to take down both of them. A beautiful rotation from Miracle. Will put an end to sort of the reign that Ana's been having up here. He's been having quite a nice time indeed with the kills that he's been granted. But Miracle making the all-important move there for Nigma.
I'm loving these early moves already. 6-5 with a Medusa and a Terrorblade in a game. Usually you expect some kind of sitting back and farm, but no, we're seeing some very active movements already coming out here. Deep ward placed. We do see that
Miracle's still top.
He is still in the area.
I don't think they're quite prepared for this move. Once again, Miracle steps in. He grabs another.
Bang, bang. Nice moves playing around that Darkseer, helping out my control a little bit. He's still low, though, and he's got the thirst. Saxa might go for the snipe.
Oh, Saxa. Oh, the
ward sees him.
With the dodge. And Miracle's here, so now Saxa, he's in a bit of trouble.
He's got a full combo as well. That's very likely to just one-shot him.
Don't breathe.
Ooh.
The creeps. They've outed him.
Can he get the full combo on him? The slow. Won't be able to get the full combo.
It might just be enough with a few punches, though. And it is. Slaps him down with the big old tree. Another kill for Miracle's Tiny.
Super early movements. Thompson not going to be matching those himself this time around. So Miracle coming out ahead in this laning phase just with these early rotations. Yeah, very nice. On and out. Goes back. He's going to be able to farm these jungle stacks that have been prepared a little bit by Noto. But some excellent moves by Miracle, helping out the Darkseer. My control definitely needed that.
I mean, for Thompson, what sort of moves do you expect to see him make? Like, where's his game going to take him early on? Are you looking towards the top? Are you looking to try and make plays onto the Terrorblade? Can you make plays onto ILTW here?
I think so. It's just the bane of Terrorblade's existence is high burst magical damage, and he's got that built into this Hoodwink sharpshooter. So I do think he can make the moves bottom. And now Seb is also 6, and he is going to be going for the Veil build on the Bloodseeker. So as we mentioned, spell amp aplenty. So definitely going to be eyes on these sharpshooters as Noto. We'll farm that 5 gold. I'm really excited to see how much damage it's going to do.
Let's see if they can find Mind Control. Mind Control is very low in these trees.
Ooh.
As they see him, he's going to try and run. You can't run from that. Another kill here for the two of them up top.
And a quick skip.
Radiant are scanning.
Miracle's on the hunt again. Look at him. He is brutal this game.
Yeah, he's just up and down the map.
Yeah, no mercy whatsoever with these early rotations. Buys all these early items, so won't have that early of a blink dagger, but still is able to make these movements. As we do see these deep wards placed down, of course, the ward to be able to watch if there's any stacks going on, of course, on this side. Also on the Dire side to watch out if any Ancients are being stacked, but none just yet. Saxa and Thompson, they're looking for him. They've got the damage if they get onto him.
Hello. The Centaur, the neutral actually helping out with a bit of setup here as they've got him caught. The Centaur though, is he able to get the angle? He is. There we have it, Topson, can he get out? If he gets away with this, he can. Saxon's going to be the one left behind as Miracle will manage to clean him up, but Topson gets the job done. Cost him a support, but it's a dead Terrorblade at the end of the day. Topson's going to be happy.
Might lose one of their wards here, I do believe. The bottom one here maybe gets taken out. They actually don't. They actually place the other one. They look for the other one right around where the Terrorblade was positioned, so this one might actually linger for quite some time. Miracle, though, continuing to be active, and they do see Topson's rotation. The ward that they do have on the Ancients from Team Nigma will see that the Hoodwink's here.
Let's see if Topson is still able to achieve something. 5 seconds till the Sharpshooter's back up. Some pressure coming in onto Ana. He's going to need backup. It's on the way. Saxa TP's in. Vacuum back on Ana. Hoping the one charges, but seeing huge amounts of damage there coming out from RTW already at this stage of the game with the Metamorphosis. Just a little bit too much for Ana to try and stick around in lane against as GH.
They found Saxa.
He's got the catch. Saxa. He's not going to be able to roll out of this one as GH is able to get the walk in and more than enough damage here buffed up by the Iron Shell of Mind Control. As Nigma can continue to keep this top space nice and safe for RTW to keep pushing on.
He blocks him with the Acorn shot. Look at that.
And now with the rupture,
but Miracle's here. There's a lot of damage too that comes from this.
In the combo. Not quite. Topson is able to finish it off here with a Sharpshooter. Another move made here as Topson starting to get active, and successfully so. Kill after kill now for the Hoodwink.
And he does take the Ironwood tree. I was wondering if he's going to keep the Keen Optic or not for himself, but he keeps that so he can do his combo as well. He can stun with that Ironwood tree. And the stats. Very important to have any extra bonus stats versus a Tiny. Also the Raindrop. These little things will keep him alive versus some of these combos early on. Early rotation from Team Nigma with the ILTW Terrorblade. We'll get the tower.
Look at this thing.
It's deep though.
Straight in underneath the tower. Miracle wants to get in. Poor old GH.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I'm so sorry. Like,
Tiny airlines. I mean, if there was ever any player that didn't deserve getting tiny airlined, it was GH, but he just did. Miracle's like, we're going in. GH is like, what? And, all right, dead GH there in the mid. I think he's going to get a refund on his flight ticket. That was not the experience he was after.
Yeah, it happens. Ooh, Miracle does miss the catapult last hit there. But yeah, Veil is online. They've got Ice Vortex level 2. So as we said, Spell Amp will be there for OG. But ILTW is getting really good farm and is able to pressure towers easier than the side of OG.
Yes, he's getting just that bit more.
And okay, so Topson, it's going to just be a straight Ags Rush. I saw in some of his games he did do this as well.
All right.
Does skip out that Aether Lens. It's also more amp. More amp and status resistance reduction, and it's just it's a lot of damage. It's only got like an 18-second cooldown for a 350 damage nuke. Is quite strong, especially versus frail heroes like a Terrible.
Yeah, and it's a boomerang. I mean,
it's a boomerang.
Boomerangs are just pretty cool.
It is.
You know, you can have a boomerang. Who's going to pass up on that? Not Topson.
I can only see expect some disgusting boomerang into status reduction into like a Mystic Snake hits them and it stuns them for 3 seconds when he's got the stone form thing on it too with the eggs. I mean, potential.
It is going to get down to sort of this game where, you know, at what stage is RTW going to have to get a BKB? Or does he not? Can he just build full stats, or he will need a BKB?
I think he's going to need one. They'll have the pipe coverage from Mind Control early. He knows that all this magic damage will be coming up, but it does feel like he'll need it at some point. Miracle already has Blink, though. So these initiations, and GH being level 7 already,
and Fairy Trinket.
Such a good start. And yes, the Fairy Trinket, of course, as we see on these Tinies every single time, it does feel like. And who's got Possessed Mask? Of course, both carries have Possessed Mask.
There we go. Nice bit of balance here between OG and Nigma as Ice Frog graces us with some even RNG to make sure the game is as close as possible.
And early meta, another one, going for the towers. As we said, Nigma will be dictating the pace for these tower pushes a little bit easier. Miracle.
He's in with a combo. Hooks on the follow-up. Let's see if they've got enough to bring him down.
Oh, the bombs.
Getting dropped here by Kuroki. Vacuum as well out of the three of them. They're going to be able to run down Ana. The Medusa will fall. Ice Blast coming out in return.
Off the mark.
GH, Mind Control, and Miracle trying to continue to push forward. The kick on to Miracle. Miracle still somehow alive there with the stick charges. Finally, he'll fall, but it'll cost the life of Saxa. And with ILTW turning up, Seb's got no place in this fight. He has to run.
They're healing up ILTW as well. GH gets on top of the AA. Topson has to scurry away. As the Ancients, ILTW will be able to take these away.
There we go. A little bit of a bonus as well for Nigma off the back of that fight. A 3-for-1. And a nice double stack of the Ancients that RTW is able to get involved in cleaning up.
And we mentioned, you know, the battle of the 4 position. Sox is struggling this time. 1, 6, and 6. GH, he's level 8 with the hood already. He's got his Aghanims already queued up, so definitely some great potential for this Clockwork to just continue to do these amazing plays for himself. He is enabled a little bit better because he's got that Ion Shell to work with.
Miracle.
Miracle.
And seeing with the jump mid, sees an opportunity to get on top of NOTA, will take the kill. Thompson turns here with the bushwhack, but GH control as Nigma bringing the action now to pace it. They're not ready. They're going to get the jump in on Ana. Toss back, but Ana, he's able to put the stone gaze. Nigma, they'll back off for now. After the ultimate goes off here for the Medusa. And he's away.
See ya.
So Rupture, not going to grant him anything there. Does have the Arcane Rune though, so
they're going again.
Yeah, Miracle, just no holding back here. Anytime he sees a hero in mid, he's in with a combo. Seb will live.
Nice blast. Don't have any follow-up.
Saxon wants to do something with this.
They do.
He's going to dive in here with the roll, gets the control onto the tiny follow there from Thompson with the sharpshooter coming in. They'll blast the head off Miracle.
Constant aggression as expected, 15 to 11. Ana still farming, but does feel like Nigma, they've gotten quite a bit more out of this early game. In particular, as we said, GH having a miraculous game so far, level 9. Constantly getting on the right targets, but the vacuum.
Ooh, that's going to break the combo. Stop Saxon from getting in onto Kuroki. Nice little save there from Mind Control.
And there is always things that we do have to factor in as well. This lead with Nigma, they are playing versus a Medusa, but they have lots of answers. GH is just a killer.
Oh, there you go. Easy kill for GH. He's walking around.
He pops the hood.
He's a tanky boy. Not tanky enough. They'll get the kill in return. And you see GH, he's more than happy to take these trades, throwing himself in and getting himself some solo kill.
Look how aggressive they're playing around this ward, though. Another jump. They want no tail.
They're in with the combo. It's not quite enough, but with the Fatal Bonds out onto the two of them, they'll still be able to push on. Miracle getting himself another kill.
They're just running at them. Anytime that they do see anybody playing around this vision, they're just jumping for these kills because of this advantage they've gotten. Again, Miracle, the blink's up.
Tiny, he's leading him with the Avalanche. Toss not quite on the mark here.
Being a little careful. ILTW does get hit by the sharpshooter.
It's going to be all right, though. Healed up by the bottle, the Shadow Word. They're keeping ILTW at full HP. Whilst his Metamorphosis continues to go. Fortification has been forced out on OG's side of things.
I just saw LTW's item choices that he's queued up. Pretty interesting. They're getting a jump on him, though,
man. They got the burst. No, Miracle. He's in with the counterplay. Jumps in with the Avalanche. Silence. Jump down the stairs, trying to get him out to the side, but he's been ruptured. ILTW goes down. Vacuum onto the three of them as Saxon will go down in return. Ana trying to chase in here, but Nigma, they're on the retreat. Mind Control's able to drop down the wall. It's Mind Control. He'll be fine. He's able to sneak away in the trees. Seb, he's pretty speedy. He's looking to see if he can get on top of anyone else. He's looking towards GH, but GH, not a target that Seb's going to feel confident pushing on towards. As OG will back off. They're happy with things as they are. They may lose Saxa, but they bring down ILTW.
Yeah, 2 times now they're able to slow him down as Ana. He's able to go back to his side of the jungle, get his farm going nicely. And yeah, there's definitely some really strong things that Nigma does have into later stages versus Medusa as well. Not only do they have Reflection, but they have Wall. So this Medusa, as she gets better, she gets stronger. They also will on the side of Team Nigma, so there is a lot of preparation that they do have as another hook shot. GH.
He's in!
But there's the sharpshooter to jump out of the cogs.
He's going to be fine, though. GH, he can get away with this sort of aggression, as tanky as he is when there's only a couple of them around. Thompson and NOTA just don't do enough to kill him.
Nope.
Especially if that sharpshooter, as you say, is having to be used immediately to break Thompson out of the cogs.
3 components toward.
What we got here? Highest amount of deaths of 17 minutes on any hero this event. Well, that's not a nice stat.
He is. I mean, he's taking a lot of them here.
Poor old Saxon.
It is most of the supports dying though, right? It's 6 as well on.
I mean, that's these are professional deaths here. You know, this is.
Ooh.
This is some top-tier stuff, as you say. Support's dying. It's all part of the plan, part of the greater picture here for both teams.
Let's see if ILTW looks to want to take that Nether Shawl. They did find one on the side of Team Nigma. Very good item this game versus all that magical burst that can potentially be coming.
I'm sorry if I missed you saying, but this is what you're on about, isn't it, on ILTW?
The item build that he's queued up. Yeah, he's queued up the Fusel, by the way, after the SNY and the Dragon Lines. I mean, that could be an interesting choice versus that Medusa, of course.
It makes sense.
I'm not sure if he needs it, though, with the way that he is getting all this pace going.
I mean, it depends, right? It depends how, if you do the numbers, if you crunch the numbers, how much of a damage increase that is against the Deucer, if you take it into account. If you just compare it to just building at the more standard Terrorblade items. But,
it's
you know,
very mid-game.
Sure, it's going to amp him up to the point where, you know, at this stage, when Ana's turning up with, you know, the Aghanims and the Manta, he's not going to quite be at a place where he's going to be feeling too happy if RTW has multiple illusions beating down on his mana pool.
Oh, Ana.
Oh.
You see him for a second. He's actually the one just running in onto Kuro.
I mean, he's got backup. Saxon's going to come in with a roll onto Kuroki. Kuroki gets the bonds off, but Kuroki, he'll go down. GH is going to try and come in with a hook shot. Mind Control gets the combo off, but he's caught in the blood right. They've lost the Darks here. Thompson will die as RTW looks to stand his ground with the Metamorphosis. Hannah moving in. GH remaining on top of the Medusa, continuing to push him back. Saxon trying to peel Miracle and RTW away from Anna and Seb, but it will cost him his life. Saxon goes down. GH has the cog control onto Anna. Toss forward as well as they continue closing onto Medusa. The mana pool of Anna completely drained. They'll force him out to the side. Dive forward from Miracle as he jumps in. Avalanche in place. He's caught the Medusa. Anna.
He's got a toss.
And it's going to be enough. They bring him down as Nigma have no struggles here, taking the fight as it all begins a little awkwardly. It starts with Anna sort of stepping over to Nigma's half of the map, ready to farm, and then as soon as he's up the cliff, he kind of looks behind him and realizes, oh, there's a team between me and the rest of my teammates.
He's initiating as the Medusa as well. He pops the Stone Gaze, just runs in versus Kuro. And it's important to point out that's a fight without the Chaotic Offering. He didn't have it up, and he gets picked off right at the start. Miracle's still waiting on the sides.
I mean, can he burst Thompson?
He's got the shawl. It's a lot of damage.
It is. I'm going to hookshot follow up.
They got him.
It's going to be enough. Cog push back as well. GH with just the right amount of control on top of the initiation from Miracle. Will instantly get them another kill. The tips starting to get shared around here on the side of Nigma as off the back of that last few fights that we've seen. They're going to be feeling pretty good with the flow of this game.
Yeah, they're moving
a step
so
ahead
fast.
of OG.
It's such quick movements across the map. They're just non-stop aggression with this Tiny, with this Clockwork. GH and Miracle just having a hell of a performance this game so far. Like, look at GH's farm. He's got a point booster with the hood. They gave him the Van Brace too. It's a 1900 HP Clockwork.
Oh,
Force
Miracle.
But the
Another grab. He gets in onto Seb, tosses him back. Seb's dead. I really do feel this so far this game, this Miracle Tiny. Now, we're seeing why Nigma will pick it up. I believe what first pick, wasn't it, in the draft?
Mm-hmm.
It's looking pretty terrifying. 9-2 and 9. Miracle,
and they just keep hunting.
He just doesn't stop.
Look at him. Him and GH just brutal killers. A vision from the rocket and then just immediate jumps. And he's the one who's actually been holding the shawl this whole time.
Absolutely.
For all that extra magic damage. Seems very appropriate.
No, they're just completely in sync with one another this game, Miracle and GH. You can really sense it.
And ILTW, I believe he did commit for it. So Diffusal is online. Does mean he can also fight when he doesn't have meta, which is kind of cool as well.
Got a bit of control, but it's slow.
Yep.
Those melee illusions going to do all the more.
And look at this. They're still just waiting. The rocket to scout. It's just keeping OG at bay. And yeah, Thompson, very underfarmed at this point. Still doesn't have his Aghanims finished. Just constantly getting hunted from Team Nigma. And they've claimed the triangle for quite some time here. Even blocking out the... putting a ward right outside the Ancients, it looks like, here with that sentry. And GH, ready to lead the charge. Super tanky Clockwork, halfway toward Aghanims. I mean, his HP is ridiculous.
Yeah, he can...
2200, that's your Clockwork support.
And yeah, as you said, the resistance on top of it all.
Yep.
He can absolutely afford to sort of just recklessly throw himself into the action.
And they're keeping themselves around this area, protecting that high ground ward that was placed before. OG not getting much farm on the map at all right now as Team Nigma threatening erosion. Oh, of course, look at that. A bottle and a DD with the Imp Claw as well too, so tons of damage. OG's got to try to fight this.
They know they're coming over, but Nigma, they also know that OG knows. They're going to smoke up themselves, look to take the fight outside of the pit.
2 Aghanims online. Medusa gets Ags, and the Hoodwink has Aghanims on OG. Let's see if it makes a difference this time.
Miracle, he's in with a 3-man avalanche, ready to start things off. Seb's getting forced down to the side. Anna pops the Stone Gaze, looks to turn things around. They've got the control here over towards this Tiny. As Miracle's getting fully focused by Saxa. The pushback comes in.
He can't
Miracle,
fight.
He's still alive somehow, standing his ground whilst Rupture gets another combo off. As Miracle, he finally dies, but the damage has been done. They've lost Anna. They've lost Saxa and they've lost No-Tail. As OG, they'll lose 3 here for the price of Miracle.
And you may have an Aghanims on your Hoodwink, but it hits a GH Clockwork and it does 0 damage to him at all as ILTW shows up with the Diffusal and just evaporates the poor Medusa. Even with the hook shot missing at the start here.
It didn't matter in the long run.
No. Great initiation.
And just there's always going to be that worry that if you don't take down the Tiny quite quick enough, another round of the spells is surely going to hurt, and they couldn't quite do it despite him getting very low. There's the focus of the 4 of them. As there's the space. RTW able to claim the Aegis for himself.
Look at that, the Sharpshooter. He's too tanky. They have Pipe and Hood. It's not doing much damage at all
damage
this game.
As well with the illusions combined with the fatal bonds. There's the Diffusal slow. Seb's got to get out. We'll manage to force it down to the low ground. But GH is still closing in on Thompson and Notail. They don't quite know where to run. As OG, they are going to try and take this fight.
There we go. They get GH finally. As he's been quite a big thorn in their side. He's always getting on top of Thompson is the biggest thing. Thompson's had to use sharpshooter defensively like 4 or 5 instances in a lot of these fights. So that mid solo is not having the effect that he would have liked as this Hoodwink because of GH. Just constantly getting on top of him. So big advantage here for Team Nigma now. This Terrorblade, absolutely massive. Building toward it, and Iascati as well too. Everything's looking great for them right now.
A brilliant time here, RTW. It's just, yeah, as we said, both teams having the same sort of dynamic. 4 fighters, 1 farmer. And it's just playing out a little smoother here for Nigma. 27-17.
So
7K
aggressive.
lead.
It's just, it really is just constant aggression. This Miracle and GH duo.
Yeah, they've just managed to achieve just that little bit more, really, than what OG have on the respective, the combination of Spirit and Hoodwink. It's just not quite been as fast-paced as that Nigma's managed to roll with.
No, Soxley just has to give his life half the time, it feels like. He's 1 in 11 on the Earth Spirit. Every time he rolls in, he tries to save his Medusa, but it's still not able to protect him, as they're just getting on top of Ana. And that was a timing, too, Ana. OG, they hit the double Ags timings right before that fight. It didn't matter.
No, it
Nigma
didn't.
got the jump again, right on top of the perfect heroes. Kuroki setting up for the defense bottom. They're all TPing to the back. Looks like they're going to try to smoke out and catch OG off guard. All of them TPing to the back tower, leaving the fast TP open for ILTW in the front.
ROG going to be ready for this. Nigma.
They scout. They see Saxa.
Oh,
Oop,
a
okay.
little bit whiff there with the initiation. As Saxa, he's not going to take the brunt of the full combo. Saxa's able to get out to the side. The Fed Up Bombs comes down, though. I'll give them the damage required to bring down the Earth Spirit. Quick Stone Gaze from Ana, but Nigma's able to step to the side. Turn and try and take down the Golem, but with the Shadow Word, Kuro's Golem's going to be kept alive, and now OG, they've just got to run with no Stone Gaze to protect himself. They've got to get out of it. Vacuum wall down onto the 2 of them. Thompson trying to turn over towards GH, but GH is too tanky, and now ILTW around. OG, they have to run. They've got no space or place to be had here in this team fight, as Mind Control's able to surge in, take down Thompson. Seb is trying to get back in here.
But it puts him into
straight into the cogs! Oh no! It's straight into the cogs, so that TP ain't gonna work, and it will fall. Notail and Seb make it out of there.
It looked okay. The retreat at first for OG because they get the Miracle Tiny, but then the chase forward. Nigma just have enough to be able to catch the rest of them there. Even honestly, the little mini Diffusal slow as well. It's definitely working out.
This Diffusal's looking very good for the way that Nigma's playing, absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah. Just constant aggression, super fast plays. Hook shot! Seb just able to dodge it. That was very close. As an Aghanim's about to be finished up for GH as well. As we said, incredible performance so far from this Clockwork. LTW, quite alone.
I mean, he's very alone. He's really going for it here. I mean, he's got an Aegis. I think he's expecting there's going to be some backup. I mean, Kuro's trying to get over.
Can he get the Sunder? He's locked in place. The Force, he's dead.
He's dead. I mean,
way too far up.
Yeah. One of those moments, I guess, where you just sort of forget what the team is. I mean, we'll see Nigma still come in, get Saxa, but that did not seem like a necessary death there from ILTW.
No, OG did sync it up really nicely with all their spell combos, though. They got the Silence. He almost is able to get the Sunder off, but not quite. Yeah, very deep forward.
He was just enjoying life there, hitting down the tier 2 tower. I mean, he had an Aegis. Kuro was kind of there, but the rest of the team, they weren't going to be around to save him, even with the 2 lives.
No, they're making their own play bottom, and OG did capitalize this time around.
There we go, as you said, no surprise here. GH on the record timing, 50 seconds faster than the event's fastest Ags on clock.
Which was a very fast one as well, because that was, I believe, Saxa who had that incredible performance on the Clockwork the last time around that we did see this as the 4.
We did see that pretty insane Saxa game, and yeah, GH definitely making a case to really contest that sort of level of performance hit.
Absolutely.
Showing he can do it just as well.
Ooh, lots of neutral items being left on the ground here. Kuroki's like, I'll pick it up for you guys, don't worry, that's my job. Mind Control, GH, keep doing your plays.
Seb, GH is going to be able to start the action. Oh, nice drag back into the second hook shot. They got enough damage though, they don't. Seb's fine. This time, OG, they'll have a lot of backup. Straight in onto Mind Control. Ice Blast connected with a Sharpshooter coming in. There's no chance for Mind Control. Saxa is going to look for the follow-up control onto GH. Miracle's coming in for the side. The Golem. The Bonds. They're round onto the three of them. Miracle's in with the combo onto Thompson, but they've already lost GH. Now Miracle's got to be careful. I said that OG also very apprehensive about continuing to keep this fight going. They're straight in the trees. They're TPing out. They don't want to be around when ILTW turns up.
Couple mistakes from Nigma. OG's capitalizing a couple kills here. They also saw ILTW TP down with that ward that they do have placed on that south side. So they did see Terrorblade getting in, so he's able to scurry away quickly on the side of OG. Do punch back a little bit. They need quite a lot more of those. And that is that was also a golem used, so definitely a couple of slip-ups there from Team Nigma.
See the attempt here to try and take down Seb at the start, but he's a slippery fellow here with the Force Staff, the plate mail, the hood. He also quite the tanky hero.
Now they're all back up though, and we still do see like these big team fights, they are Nigma favored whenever they do get the proper jump here. Having the BKB on Miracle too should be much safer. Unless he gets like full chain stun down, he should get the BKB off and be able to survive versus the heavy magic damage that OG does have. And they're just the ones who tank the spells, right? ILTW, he's still that big carry to be able to sit in the back lines. Claim the outpost. Claim some high ground vision as well. Tupson buys himself the tome, so he's going to have level 3 sharpshooter online. That big damage jump will be there. So they still do have burst potential if they can get onto those heroes quickly before the BKBs, but now Saxa, he's been found again.
Now they're going to be able to take him out, continue to set back that BKB timing that he's trying to scramble towards, but as you can see, the deaths really starting to add up and affect his goal build up this game. Really struggling to get the money in.
He's got the ward down here. He sees Seb as well.
Oh, and he's got ILTW coming in as well. Smokes as well. They're moving straight over.
They're going to get Seb here. Toss him back to ILTW. Easy. Doesn't even have to use a diffusal.
At the same time, GH.
Another one, GH.
He's also caught Thompson.
And he's got a second hook.
He has. He's able to combo in onto Thompson.
He solos him.
As the one sharpshooter's not going to be enough, and now Anna, Stonegaze is finished.
He's in the wall as well.
Nigma's able to get in. ILTW and Miracle on top of the Medusa. Anna doesn't stand a chance.
Shredded. GH, the hunter, the killer, again and again getting on top of Thompson, providing all this vision.
Oh boy, he's having a great time there, GH, and really making it look like Thompson just, he's got no, like, what does he do
against
this? The double hook shot, it's too much. 2 sets of hook shots, 2 sets of cogs. You can't sharpshooter yourself out of both of them.
He sees the support. He sees blood.
Right up to the fountain, pretty much.
That's a Rex. Maybe even potentially more.
I mean, at least, yeah, here, 36 to 21, 14k lead here for Nigma.
Going for the second one, ILTW. 2 full items on top of the Medusa at this point.
That's insane. I mean, they've just played it so fast.
Yeah. 36 kills, 32 minutes. So clean from the side of Team Nigma today. Double Rexes, 17k gold lead.
I mean, they're going to stick around. There's not a lot really that Nigma have to be scared of here. We'll see how much space they want to give them. I mean, if they want to stick around, they absolutely can.
They're just going to wait for somebody to show. They've got a chaotic offering as well at the ready after all these fights. They haven't had to use, actually, they haven't had to use it in most of the fights. It's been successful fights just from the initiations without the golem.
And Thompson and Saxa are trying to get out the base here with the smoke, see if they can catch any of Nigma splitting up.
Okay. Meta is still down. AA Blast, though. 3-man catch. ILTW, look at the damage.
Big sharpshooter, but have they got anything else to come out? They do! It's enough damage. ILTW will fall there as Thompson's able to set up with a huge burst of his ultimate. Miracle, he's back in though. GH also able to get the lead in onto Seb with the combo. Miracle's able to bring down NoTail. A second round of hook shot. He's on top of Seb. Seb's going to go down. As GH will get the kill, he'll also get out. TP's away, plays it safe, respects the buyback here from Sax. And Miracle's still hanging around though.
He's quite alone.
Can Miracle do this with the backup of Mind Control and Kuroki? Not quite. As Zoffy starts to run, they put the Stone Gaze, but the wall's down. The bounce here, the Ag Snake. Trying to kick Miracle back, so he's facing a wards at him, but Miracle's able to turns with another combo, in fact, and takes down Thompson. as he gets set up to pick up another kill. Ana trying to fight against the three of them, but he's slowed. GH is back in with the hook shot. The mana's gone on Ana. Ana falls.
And GH still hunting, as well as my control, still chasing forward. Saksa will be the sole survivor for his team. As Roche respawns, 20 seconds until ILTW does come back up, and he's got Mata at the ready as soon as he does.
Oh yeah, Nigma just continuing to just beat OG all over the place.
Oh, is No-Tail gonna show himself? Miracle, as soon as he sees him. Oh, he's jumping him. See you later, No-Tail. On to tier 4s. Oh, he throws the tree away. Doesn't even want it. He's just gonna punch it. So that might be it. They do have buybacks.
They have a buyback on Ana.
But ILTW is running straight down the mid lane, and oh, a DD spawns top as well if they do go back for Roche, if they can't clean up the game right here.
And here's the buybacks. Rupture's down.
But it's Lotus.
Yes, indeed. They'll still try and lead it onto GH, but GH turns with a hookshot straight in onto Saxon Thompson. Revving up the sharpshooter. Is he going to do any sort of sizable damage? It is onto ILTW, but Miracle's on the front lines, pushing them back with the BKB. Combos down Saxa. I'll have the AA back up in a second, but now no Saxa.
They're ready to just end this.
They are. ILTW is going to continue pushing on. Stonegaze is back up in a second for Ana.
They've got wall back up in 10 seconds. Meta's popped.
Yeah, they're ready to close this up, Nigma. Zoji, what can they do here with just the four of them? How can they stop ILTW from doing this? Miracle's in with a jump straight away onto No-Tail, takes him out yet again. Vacuum onto the three. The walls drop down. They're trying to scramble back towards the fountain, but the cogs are out. Ana can't get back to the fountain as Nigma hold him outside of it, take him down. 100 seconds, no Ana. It's over. It really is. GG is called as Nigma. I mean, they just really turn up here in game one. Nothing being held back. As we said, you know, it really was just Miracle and GH leading the charge throughout this whole game. As just as a unit, the aggression, it was perfect. And it was something that we are used to seeing OG bring, but Nigma they did it so much better than OG here in this game.
They did not slow down at all. There was no moments where they're like, hey guys, we have Chaotic offering on cooldown, let's slow it down. Nope, they were just constantly running, aggressive, playing around ward vision, claiming high ground, and just not letting Thompson really play that hoodwink as this mid. He's 4, 8, and 11 at the end of it. They keep getting on top of him. Tiny jumps him, Clockwork hook shots him. They're just constantly getting on top. Great plays from Team Nigma as the whole team together, just all together for every single one of the fights. Even the Darks here, we didn't give my control a lot of credit in this game because of how crazy everything was.
He was cruising.
10, 4, and 28. Yeah. Beautiful item build too. Goes for the Halberd versus the Medusa in case of anything. They've got the pipe. They've got all the magic damage coverage and all that magic damage protection too from them. Great stuff from Nigma.
Oh, absolutely. This was really quite the showstopper of a performance here from Nigma in this game one, as OG just being, as I said, sort of tossed all over the place. Looking a little bit lost in this one as they just couldn't ever match the fighting that Nigma was bringing. The team fights each and every time. Just Nigma getting the jump and OG not quite ready to deal with it. As there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Game one is going to go to Team Nigma.
A very convincing game one for Team Nigma indeed. We're going to break it down and, of course, prepare for game number 2. All that after the break.
Tiny airlines the entire time. It was insane. Just every
That's
single
pretty
clip. Thank you. Every single clip was just a toss here, a toss there. Where are they going? And just poor positioning. Not even poor positioning. Just
good
constant,
play.
Good
constant
play.
good play.
It was
yeah.
refreshing, really, to see this. It was a solid game of TOTA2. I think OG played all right under the circumstances. Nigma had too much to handle. I really liked everything from the itemization, the way they were playing, both GH and Miracle just popping off.
Yeah.
Item build from Terrorblade as well, I thought was perfect. I was thinking about Dragonlance. We don't see that, we don't remember, but that was pretty core on T back in the day. You can actually outrange a lot of the Deuce's auto attacks. In addition, Diffusal Blade.
There we go.
Yes.
Beautiful stuff.
You liked it.
Really OP.
Loved it, yeah. And then if you ever play against OG, guys, hot little tip: Warlock. This is the hero. A team that wants to group up as 5 and run at you. You pick Warlock, you ban some of the purges, and then they have to itemize for it. So I think Warlock is a hidden MVP as well, just for the anti-OG style.
Yeah. Speaking of OG and team fights, Purge wants to talk to us about that.
Hello, thank you. OG had some good things in mind. Ice Blast combos, there's a lot of damage that comes out of Hoodwink. They can use this to kill important heroes to start the fight off. But this is basically the only time for most of the game that we ended up seeing that happen. Here's Tiny obviously had an amazing early game. Here he's 5-0-2. They get aggressive on the enemy tri-lane with his fast Blink Dagger. GH follows up. They land all their combos successfully. And then it's up to OG to finally do something in response. They Rupture Miracle. They try to Ice Blast him. That doesn't fully end up working. They have to roll into him, committing Earth Spirit's Life and a Boulder Smash. They put a lot of effort just to get him low. And yeah, they shoot the TB as well, which is nice, but it just feels like it's much, much more difficult for OG to win a successful team fight with the heroes that they have. Tiny can jump in, get kills, start fights off. If they hookshot on top of Thompson, he's going to have a bad time because it takes him time to get through the cogs if he doesn't have his ulti ready. And even here, where Medusa goes to defend the mid lane, Tiny just blinks and tosses him back, forcing the ultimate reaction. It was just time and time again, Nigma initiating fights in a much easier way that made the engagement and the rest of the game just feel really simple for them. Eventually, how did this fight start? Oh, they actually jumped on ILTW with the Ironwood branch. This fight felt okay to me. They kill Terrorblade at the start of things. That's what they want. But once again, what happens is Ana turns his ulti on, he runs in, and they all just leave. And it feels like the worst Medusa ulti I've ever seen. I think coming from a different angle here, which gave them some advantage, but look how long it's taken them to kill Kuro. They don't want to spend a lot of spells on him. They don't have a huge amount of single target damage. Definitely one thing missing from their lineup. And once again, GH constantly targeting Thompson, putting him out of position, and giving them opportunities for the eventual rundown. They end up running down both of these two guys, diving under tower. They just got this advantage. They brought it to OG. They took great fights, and they made it so their ultimates were difficult to execute in a strong way.
Thank you very much, Purge. Yeah, I mean, the fights were a little rough for OG indeed to get everything together. And we did say at the start of the game that we were going to take an extra close look on the mid lane. Tiny versus Hoodwink. We don't get to see Hoodwink mid ever. This was the first time, actually, definitely in the upper division of the Western European DPC League. And Cal, what's your thoughts on that after you saw Tiny versus Hoodwink?
It's going to be banished. Sheaves, that was the first and last time. We're probably going to see the Hoodwink mid. I think that you look at Tiny, pretty standard, pretty stable. It's just so much easier to have high game impact. I felt like Thompson was playing the hero pretty damn well, but I'm left still confused as to what it does to win a game.
What does it do to win a game?
Well, it applied pressure with the team.
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing. They were getting decent pickoffs. He was very active early on. Just this simple discrepancy is Tiny does it independently with a Blink Dagger, whilst Hoodwink needs that +1. And we said during the draft how Ursula Satsuka, he's going to be the sacrificial lamb. And it was like that in the scoreboard. He had many, many deaths. Yeah. Unfortunately, because he needed Thompson for his damage.
Yeah, we said he needed to die.
Exactly.
Like we knew that was going to be the case already beforehand.
It's that construct of fight that leans more towards just having a casual Tiny going mid with a Blink doing it himself, tankiness of Grow, compared to a Hoodwink who needs that front line.
And I will say, it's also, though, I think a return to form. The way Nigma drafted in this game goes back to what they were successful with historically. If this hyper carry Terrorblade that's playing more aggressively, in fact, too much so, dying twice the tier 2. No one, even on his side of the map, but he's still pushing the tower. Rest of the team slaying. I think OG need to simplify it a bit because that draft was more full of memes, it felt like, than a comprehensive strategy.
I am also very curious to find out who Clockwork is going to get, because I feel like Clockwork, we've seen Saxa crush with it last week. GH today, just now. That hero just feels really strong.
Yeah, it is strong. When you don't have a way to protect your backline, that's when it cuts through. So just maybe a little bit more adjustments towards a kind of positional team, and yeah, we'll be good. Clockwork won't be looking as strong.
Yeah, well, we will find out if we see the Clockwork, if we see the Hoodwink mid again, because the draft is very close. We'll take a quick break. When we're back, it is time for Game 2 between OG and Team Nigma.
When the sun goes down on Friday.
We've got Game 2! Woo!
Game 2 coming your way here. OG between Team Nigma. Wow, words.
Go Shiva.
Between OG and Team Nigma. Welcome back. It's Dreamleague Season 15, powered by Intel. And of course, it's the upper division of the Western European DPC League. And I can't wait to see what these two teams are going to draft against each other. We had a little bit of a cutesy draft, I think I can say, from OG for this first game. But they know what to do when they're game down. We actually saw this very scenario last season where OG lost game 1 of this best of 3, and then they crushed Team Nigma the games after that.
Warlock ban, that's all I wanted to say.
All right.
And we also saw it at the TI9 Grand Final.
We also saw that, yeah.
And I like this from OG. This is more their bread and butter. As T-Gov so eloquently put at the start of game 1, OG typically utilize damage manipulation in one form or another to win games of Dota 2. It's been ongoing since way back when with the Moon Meander squad and Miracle when they were sweeping through majors. Drow Ranger is incredibly underpicked. You can play this mid as Thompson, you can play it safe lane as Ana, and they got the clock, more importantly, which does start to, it really just feels like the best 4 right now, at least when these two teams are playing.
And for Nigma, they come into this draft just automatically picking Tiny once again. They picked the Willow, which is a big indicator simply of Tiny will just be the mid. There's no flexibility here. And for OG, I would love to just see the Drow as a mid lane.
Yeah.
You can apply some type of pressure to Tiny, and it's just annoying when you have to deal with this dual core.
Especially when you're not level 6, you have 0 armor. Laning any sort of rotation, especially from a hero like Clock, might be troublesome for you. The PL ban immediately. Likely going to see them remove a couple more Drow counters as well. And when we see Willow, we immediately think Morphling, but traditionally, Drow's always matched up quite nicely against the Morph. I don't know how much that's changed now that Manta Rush is pretty much the itemization of choice. Wyvern hard counter to the Drow in years past. Surprised to see that gone. And I mean, look at the bans from Kuro coming out. Abaddon and Brewmaster. Just because
these are heroes that soak up the tank, right? The fight.
Exactly.
Early, like if you run into this guy, you're like, oh, how do we get through, like kill him, then find the backlines, right?
That's just, I think, targeted because you see the Drow. And this is, again, one of those heroes that creates an identity for the draft. It hasn't really changed much over the years. Drow might have been nerfed, buffed, skills changed, what have you, but the way you play around the hero is still the same. You want a lot of chaos that keeps you away from the Drow Ranger, so she's free to just auto-attack.
Are there other 5 still in the pool? Because we saw No-Till play both the Abaddon and the Brew, of course. Are there other 5 positions that could do the same thing? Other than those 2?
I mean, you can get wild. I've seen Tide Hunter as an example in NA a couple times.
I just want to see a melee 5 that can be that guy, right? Because Clockwork is a reinitiator. Sometimes can initiate with good, like with the good vision, but just a melee 5 enabling a ranged core that can at least run up first and tank.
Axe.
One of the lower division games had a Centaur position 5.
Get a bit carried away now, guys.
Okay.
I think we should rein it in a bit.
Okay, we'll rein it in a bit. We see a Lycan ban.
That's a very prescient ban. That's like the Drow counter, and it's also incredibly good against Clock. You cannot buy enough items to survive against a Lycan. He's too tanky. That Armlet Echo build, you're just mowing down towers 15, 20 minutes
it's
in.
It's unpicked in upper division. That's the funny thing.
True.
Like, it is an unpicked hero. It's been in lower division, and we have seen its strength there, but
that's because, metas are... when we haven't seen Drow. So because we see it here, suddenly there's a whole new pool of heroes that are going to be considered because it's not, say, a Morphling in the opening.
I will say it's very refreshing this season. The difference between meta to upper to lower, it's not as if lower is always just copying what upper's doing. There is a little bit of kind of independence from teams. And I like the fact that, you know, they're just becoming more confident in their own image. It puts kind of Dota in a good position for the future.
Yeah, it's also interesting how different regional strategies, some stay in the region, some make it across the oceans. Like Medusa was being picked all the time in Southeast Asia. We really only saw it start picking up in Europe, what, like this week, last week?
NA started the Warlock hype.
Yeah, the Luna as well. Thank God that stayed mostly across the pond. That is not a thing.
Yet.
No, Luna, you can't make it a thing.
I have seen a fantastic game of Gorksy with Luna. He won. You lost a lot of subscribers to it, or rather you had to give subscribers.
That's Division 2.
Doesn't matter, it happened.
Oh my God. It was so...
Slowly making his way up the ranks. So we have a long time that OG has taken to think about this third pick. What could they be discussing at the moment?
During their interview, they always like to mention that they always have some form of heal within their draft. It's a core component of their lineups. Okay, so they go for Enchantress. Yeah, I was going to say they needed some type of tankiness within their lineup. I like the Ench. You just buy a Solar Crest. You can, if you want to be greedy, you can go for a Dragon Lance for a more fight, but it just gives you something that can tank these ganks. You have the vision advantage with the creep always running in. Now you have the Rocket Flare as well. OG shouldn't be surprised by any gank from Nigma right now. They have all the tools required to at least understand the positioning of Nigma. Of course, Miracle could just see through that and just jump in anyways, but...
As he does. All right, Team Nigma, they obviously had a long time to think about their first pick as well, considering the time that OG took, but they also like to take into their own bonus time here with this third pick. Are we most likely going to see Willow for GH and then Tiny just back on mid for Miracle? Because there's not really, like, Kuro could play Willow, I guess, as well.
ET. No, we're going okay, Phoenix.
That's, okay, so...
Into the ranged heroes, the combination.
It can be a little spooky. It's nice, but I don't know. Drow against Phoenix, especially you pick up an early Dragon Lance, it's quite easy to eat the egg.
I'd love, in this position, I'd love the clock to become a 5, like we saw Alliance do.
Yeah, I agree.
Push that Ench into a 4-row, allow the Dragon Lance player to come into, so then you go Solar Crest Dragon Lance, you then have Drow and Ench be your egg counters, and then it sets up that kind of nice cover for the... for Ana and whatever carry he gets, but...
It's a real nice Storm game.
What's the Seb hero here?
It's a real nice Snapfire mid game for Thompson. Let's go.
you could just be naming heroes from the pool, and I wouldn't know the difference.
No, but you can kill egg real fast. It's real nice.
Oh, that's a good point.
Although Thompson is the one that plays the Drow.
But also, if you Tiny into Snapfire is a very Tiny favorite matchup, not for the lane, but in the game, always getting on top of him, preventing him getting the ultimate off.
Okay. They'll end up going for the Juggernaut.
Such an OG pick. Now, it's almost guaranteed, although, I mean, we saw Seb play Jug offlane like 2 years ago, but most likely it's an Ana hero. You're going to have Drow mid, and that, I believe, comes from knowing that it's almost 95% a Tiny middle, and Drow's just fine with that matchup. Both supports really don't add too much either. Theoretically, you could get a kill with a nice toss back into a Bramble, but easier said than done. You'll need some levels on the Tiny to get that through.
Yeah, OG had a very similar draft when they played against Team Secret in the first game. And the only thing that we are lacking so far is a tanky offlaner. They had the Darkseer last time around, obviously banned.
You know, it could be a great Furion game. I don't know if that's something anybody wants to pick nowadays, but I swear, Mind Control, Nature's Prophet is one of my favorite hero player combinations. Traditionally, very good against Jug in lane, and very good against Drow throughout the game because you can clear out the tier 1 so quickly and really limit the amount of space she has on her own side. There's alternative. There's always an Axe, you know, your standard Blink Initiator. Could go for a Slardar.
I'm currently just trying to think about this Enchantress, and I think there might be more to the pick than we're currently giving it.
Okay.
Like, potentially it could just be like a core Enchantress here, where you have
7
Clockwork Ench. Yeah, like a 7 Enchantress. You apply a lot of laning pressure, and it gives you that kind of clumping.
Yep.
He's played it a couple times in his pubs. He hasn't won with it though. But again, I have this kind of maybe like a gut feeling this could be like a play they make. Just they're grouping that tankiness and that run at you style. But of course, they just picked up the Spectre.
Yep.
It is a classic counter to Drow, always being able to find, get on top of the Drow, mitigate the ultimate coming into effect, because when heroes are near Drow, it removes that.
However, not great against the Juggernaut. It doesn't really allow Nigma to play with as much tempo. Their team fight's going to be fantastic. But
styles changed for sure.
Exactly. This is a slower approach, right? And I swear, Kuro does this to me every series because they'll come out the gates in the first, they'll crush.
They'll swing it.
So, like, always with this
adrenaline pumping.
Yeah, doubling, like 2 kills a minute. And then the next game's like, all right, guys, that worked so well. Let's slow it down. Let's farm. Let's play for the 40 minutes plus and hope for the best. And now it'll be OG, in theory, in the driver's seat, able to play aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
X-Band. I'm telling you, man, I think MC... I want a Furion because it allows them to play quick. Is Darkseer in the pool?
Nope.
No, Darkseer's banned out. They banned out themselves.
What?
All the offlaners pretty much
Could
banned
just
out
go
in the
for a
final four.
Slardar.
They obviously played Darkseer, Bloodseeker in the previous game. Still in the pool.
Yes!
They go for it.
They did it, baby. There we go. We don't see this ever, but I love this pick. Because I didn't want just a standard initiator, and we're like, oh my god, it's going to be slow. Now they have easy tower damage.
They've gone to loss.
And yeah, puts OG into a spot where we're like, okay, we have to now still be the ones that limit the pressure. But, man, this is a TI draft right here. Both these teams know what's on the line.
Yeah, I think just the response though from the Furion and then the Underlord. The Underlord covers them pretty nicely because that early pressure, it's all about just having the right matchup. Underlord goes to the right lane, defends the tower. And I think the key thing for Nigma is it's a completely different script from game one. This game, if Miracle jumps in and they have ultimate from Spectre, they should be able to find a kill. But then it's not like there's layers of initiation coming in through. Like a lot of ranged heroes. So it's all on Spectre to have the items to cushion that jump with a Miracle. On the flip side, OG, Thompson gets 1 or 2 items. He pairs with Ana with an active item. They're going to be pressuring non-stop. So yeah, it's all on Nigma to choose the right fight. If they ever waste a Haunt, if they ever give up Roshan, this game can get difficult and back and forth.
It's OG with the insane choke point control and just all around sustain and long team fight. Whereas Nigma, they want poke and prod, skirmishes. They can abuse global TPs. They want to take towers early, and the game gets way simpler for them. But taking 2 tier 1s before 10-12 minutes while maintaining control of their own is huge for them in this game.
And we said that they might want to slow things down with the Nature's Prophet. That's no longer the case, right? They can still set high tempo.
Yeah, they're going to be able to push OG around the map, opening up the map for Spectre to farm. And that's the key thing. If Spectre can get to a couple items, this will be a very close game.
I think it's a Manta Diffusal game, and all of a sudden Thompson gets hopped on. It's like, he's just dead.
I heard close game. I'm excited. Looking forward to this game too. Let's see if we'll get a game 3 out of it as well. We're going to find out together with OD Pixel and Fogged.
Thank you very much, Steve. We are indeed. I mean, what do you reckon, Fogged? We saw in game 1. Didn't actually end up as maybe close as we expected. Nigma looking to be that little bit ahead of OG in the opening of this series. Here in game 2, what do you reckon? Do you think the panel's right? Are we going to see a closer game, or could one team start to get the lead pretty early?
I think it's just a completely different style that's coming out here. We do see still a lot of team fight aggression that's more dominant on the side of Team Nigma, but OG does have very strong group around with this Underlord. And the way they do play with the Jug is also very early aggression, right? We've seen from Ana a couple times now where he goes for like the early Yasha. He just looks to join his team early on, so could be successful if they're able to actually set up for these pushes, but yeah, Spectre and Nature's Prophet, 2 heroes that we don't see too often anymore. This global presence around the map to be able to join this constant aggression that we do expect to see from Miracle again. And he's got good targets.
Absolutely.
He's got some pretty nice ones, but also some tough ones that are just too tanky or he can't burst down. Jug, Underlord, Clockwork could be problematic for Miracle this time.
Sure. I feel like, again, that they're going to have to do quite a lot to try and keep Thompson safe, right?
Yep.
There's a lot of heroes that are going to be getting in the face of the Drow Ranger.
Absolutely. That's why they do go for that pick with the Spectre, and I'm glad to see this Nature's Prophet. I know Kyle was begging for it. He's been asking for it like every game that he sees My Control playing. He's like, please pick Nature's Prophet.
So why have we not been seeing much of it? Were the nerfs really that significant?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely hurt, but we just don't see it in this region, really. Like, we see it in other regions quite a lot, but it has been nerfed on the Treants quite a bit here. And it is playing versus an Enchantress, so Enchant, you can take over one of the Treants, you can be a little bit annoying inside of that lane phase. Kuro and Saksa duking it out. And yeah, eyes on Saksa.
I mean, it really is. As you were saying last game, we saw previous series, Saksa absolutely pop off on the clock. Previous game, though, of course, we saw GH give quite the showing. So we'll see. You know, Saksa definitely after that game, when you could tell he was probably looking at GH and going, I can do that too, and I'm going to show you.
doesn't feel as easy for him versus the heroes that he's up against. Like sticking on a Spectre. Spectre can play around it, being able to dagger out. Tiny, quite tanky. Phoenix has a way to play if you time the dive between these battery assaults. Willow, you can go Shadow Realm.
Alright,
dead.
easy first blood there for Mind Control. Just right-clicks No-Tail out of the lane. He'll die for it, but hey, it's first blood.
Okay. And that's why we see that Mind Control Nature
Just
Prophet.
stands there, right-clicks him. Easy kill.
Yep. Missing a lot of last hits down here right now, though. Does get the one with the Treants, but we will see lane cutting coming out from Saksa. So we'll get himself off to a good start himself.
But I take it.
I like that voice. Yeah, let's see how this mid matchup ends up going. If he's able to if he's gonna actually be able to slow down Miracle at all. Feels like Miracle should just be able to farm quite well, but Topson, we've seen what he does on this draw. He goes what? 1-1-1 and then stats for the first like 7 levels or so. Until he hits level 7, then he gets I think 2 points or 3 points, and then he starts normally leveling his skills up. But tries to get that stat advantage at least in mid lane quite early on from what I've seen. And as immediately, yeah, he takes stats. So 1-0-1, stats put into the point onto this Drow Ranger. As yeah, Miracle. Constant aggression coming out onto him, so rune control will be important so that he can keep the sustain up, but should be able to with all these water runes. But Topson's gonna definitely look to contest them.
Top lane. It's gonna be quite a bit of damage here onto RTW here with the Firestorm.
Yeah. Playing around his creeps though, LTW nicely. Does allow Kuroki to get a pull, but Kuroki actually misses quite a bit of them. He only gets the 1 melee creep, not the melee plus the range that you usually dream to get as these half pulls. But it's a Spectre lane, so it's always going to start a bit slow, especially into Underlord. You just see this base damage advantage, 80 plus on the Underlord, 56 on Spectre, so ILTW will have a much slower start this game. And they can't actually get very aggressive up here, so OG should, I mean, it does look like they should come out quite effectively in at least 2 or 3, 2 of the lanes. Mid, kind of a trade-off. Yeah, but Jug is a pretty decent hero to be able to deal with the harassment that comes out from both Nature's Prophet as well as Willow.
GH. Trying to go for No-Tail there, but No-Tail actually going to turn.
He gets the realm off.
He will, and in fact, with the...
Might be able to turn for him.
Brambles, is he going to be able to do this, GH?
Bit low on mana, 4 short.
Fairy fire.
Oh, the slow.
Puts
a sentry for vision.
But they've got him. GH gets the kill.
The Banshee. Look at the Ghost. It's chasing him out. I think he's going to time out before he dies. 2, 1. He will live with the rocket.
Oh, he
look at GH.
so
He even smiles.
There, GH.
He laughs himself.
Saxter gets the global snipe there with a level 1 rocket flare.
Oh, that was so nice. Doesn't skill the cogs because he's versus that Spectre lane, so it's a bit tough to actually land him. Goes for the rocket. Super nice there. Gee, I love how you see the camera, and GH is just like, all right, respect
I mean,
to that.
that's, yeah, you know, you got to accept that.
Looking like 3 successful lanes. The Drow is coming ahead. He's getting his runes checked for him, too. Miracle will get his bottle filled up from GH to try to enable him a little bit better. Maybe getting aggressive, too. They do have the boots and the bottle, so Saksa is going to have to zone them away a little bit from this Topson Drow to protect him. And they won't be able to get Sox either. Super tanky Clockworks, 860 HP at that level 3. And we do see, 1-1-1 on Topson plus stats. Going straight for the treads.
Yeah, able to keep that slight edge on Miracle in this matchup. Very close, though, still.
He's actually got the same base damage. It's pretty cool. As another stun coming out. They don't have the combo just yet.
Are they going to
try? Onto him. 2 seconds, the Gust pushback. It catches Saksa.
They're bringing Mind Control in as well. They'll be able to get down the Sprout, block off Topson's route of escape.
They get the Courier as well, and Saksa. Battery Assault not as effective when there's so many creeps around. These Treants as well. We'll drag the wave.
Another Sprout, Mind Control, buying time for Miracle to close in.
Couple more hits. They got an Avalanche or a Toss. They don't even need it.
They got the Bramble. They've got the kill. Nigma bringing the action in mid here as Mind Control's ready to get active across the map.
Does mean that bottom, OG have to play very aggressive. Kuroki's trying to sap this XP down here. It's the triple range creep that is coming down. Kuro still has the dive. Ana will try to push me, but tanks 2 tower hits.
I was going to say, taking some tier 2 tower hits here.
And he gets the healing ward with the dive. Nice play from Kuroki.
Looks like we won't get the tower for now. You see Nigma. They're bringing additional numbers down because they know that OG's wanting to stick around to get this tier 1. GH and Mind Control are going to look to fight them for it.
They're going to get it. Do they get the deny? They will. And now Ana.
I mean, he can't get out.
He's in a weird spot. He is very dead. Picks up his phase boots before he does die. But yeah, Kuro.
I mean, we're seeing signs already, sort of similar to the last game, where Nigma's just turning out to be a bit more of a more killers than OG's able to in the early game.
Especially with this more passive style lineup too, with like a Spectre, with your Nature's Prophet, still looking to get very involved early on. And now it does give some space for ILTW. He's now in a 1v1 matchup versus the Underlord, so both of them will be able to maximize, bring a health picked up on this Spectre, so he's able to sustain fine versus Seb. But Seb will come out a little bit ahead because he can pull some neutrals into with these creeps. And let's see how active Miracle does get, because as we know, he's level 6, he's got his phase boots, he's looking to hunt. How close are we to Mind Control level 6 too? So the Wrath of Nature almost online too, so that burst potential a bit higher. Might catch OG off guard here when Miracle does find a target.
No, that's true actually, yeah, that sort of extra bit to add on top of it all will do it.
And look at this wraparound. He's actually the one carrying the wards, because he's the one who's making the moves around. They have Phoenix, who doesn't want to actually go to place wards, so they're giving it to Tiny, who's going to be constantly moving around looking for these plays. So I should like that they do these kind of plays. I love giving your cores wards.
We'll see bottom.
Brambles again.
They're in onto Saxter. Saxter, he's trying to run. He's got the stick charges, but the hit comes through from the Shadow Realm. As GH is able to take him down.
Can they actually get onto No-Tail as well? It's going to be close.
I mean, Anna's trying to come across to help out. I'm going to use the Blade Fury here to make sure they don't set up onto him off the back of the Cursed Crown.
So now Seb will try to push top tower while all this
No-Tail came back in.
Happening. He did?
He steps back in. Kuro's just in with a dive and a few spirits, and Kuro, they get the kill on No-Tail.
Look at this aggression. Team Nigma. Now Miracle maybe steps up too far himself. Soxa, can he get close enough? He can't. Phase boots. From Miracle the Wrath to push them away. Thompson's quite low here. Miracle's definitely thinking about going in with GH here. They've got the Gust.
Sax as well at the side, trying to offer up some sort of help. Anna heading in with a healing ward. They've got the combo along with the Sunray. It's enough to take down Thompson.
And Miracle's too fast. The phase boots plus the faded brooch.
Anna can't chase him. Miracle's out with a CP ready to reset back at the base. GH will get left behind underneath the tower. He himself might be able to make out as well. Yes, Shadow Realm's popped. They won't lose either of them here.
And they even take the haste rune away. The speed that Nigma is playing with 8 kills at 8 minutes already. And they take the bottom tower too with the rotation from ILTW.
Oh, they're playing it even faster than they were in game 1 here.
Yep. Getting the Spectre involved nice and early too. Seb, as we said, he's having this free game, so let's see what he makes of it. He's going to go for Hood so he can always survive the brunt of the pressure, but that does mean that it's all up to Soxa to be that initiator again. Just like last time, we saw him die so many times on this Earth Spirit last time because he's the sole initiator on his team. So similar approach this time around from OG. Nigma's setting up for the defense too, level 5 on the Willow.
Yeah, hard for OG to push in here now.
Yeah.
Still not quite having the 6 on the jug.
No, and there's a Wrath of Nature available again too, so Miracle, he's got that extra burst every time he looks for somebody, and he's so speedy. He even picks up a casual Windlace with the brooch. When he's phasing, he's 461.
He's stepping up, does get the cogs off in time, so Miracle won't find the opening for the combo.
I'm just gonna buy back.
That's a good one, actually. I like that one quite a bit. It's Miracle.
And Sax is hunting Mind Control. He has found him here. Mind Control. He's getting held back here by Saxa, but
only level 4 on Soxa, though. The damage is not
anywhere
quite
near
there.
enough damage to take down Mind Control.
No. And he also has phase boots, all these little bits of movement speed. Definitely working out for Team Nigma. Stop the small aggression. And Seb comes up to try to defend this tower here. That does mean Spectre, full free farm bottom. ILTW getting little to no pressure now in this game.
Oh, here we go. Nigma. Ready to run it. No-Tail. Oh,
see you later.
Well, he's dead, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
He is extremely dead.
That. These deep early wards that were placed. And now Thompson, the hunt.
He wanted a rune, but he's ended up getting 4 heroes. He's going to go out for the TP out. Is he away? He's not.
No.
They've got him. Cursed Crown will put him to a stop as Miracle gets the double.
He's running away with it again, this time on the Tiny.
This Tiny, he's having a fantastic series already, off to another brilliant start. 4-0-1 on the Tiny.
They're looking to fight up top. The DD on the Tiny too. Soxa only level 4 still on the Clockwork. They will purge off that DD from Miracle.
Miracle still trying to get the grab here with the toss on him. No, Telly's got the kill.
And they've got the heal.
Sunray coming in from the side. They'll be able to start doing the damage here to Saxa and Seb. Miracle, he's a little low on the mana. Anna leading him with the Blade Fury, but Miracle, as you say, with the movement speed, he can get away from the jug. He's looking to close it on to Saxa. Saxa will drop down the cogs. The Avalanche grabs him. Saxa into the trees. They're popping the egg. OG, they can't commit for the egg. They'll have to turn, look for kill opportunities with the Omni Slash, but at this stage, it's nowhere near enough damage. The Supernova Stun catches Anna as he comes out of the Omni Slash. As it's just more glory here for Nigma. 13 for 2, 4K lead. They're just not slowing down.
It's a stomping. The Omni Slash comes out, but it's perfectly timed with Kuroki getting that egg to connect on him as soon as he lands out of it. Gets stunned instantly. And yeah, they're just so under-leveled at this point. Like, just bring him up. Level 5 on the Enchantress, 6 on the Clockwork. Ana is level 6 at this point on the Jug.
He's struggling. They just can't get him the space.
Look at the Willow, 7. Nature's Prophet, 7. Phoenix, 7. Just excellent moves from Team Nigma to set them up for the success. Such deep early aggression and deep early wards that have not been countered. The triangle, it's been warded for a full 7 minutes now. Not taken out. Those early wards that we did see Miracle place has been phenomenal for him, and he's got the Blink Dagger done in a second after this bounty run. So it's just going to keep picking up in pace. And ILTW is just free farming. No pressure on Spectre whatsoever this game now.
Oh, that's terrifying.
But now they are setting up for him bottom, and he's very low on mana. He's very deep as well, and they should be able to get him this time. We'll get themselves back a little bit here.
That's what OG can do with this. Spectre gone. I mean, it's just Anna's not
so
quite ready to fight. He still just needs a lot of time, a lot of space.
Yeah.
He is not going to want to get involved for quite some time here, at least until he has his first item done. Even then, you know, the Jug, it's really, you know, pre-Maelstrom, SMY, you're not going to have a good time turning up to the fights, especially when the enemy team is sort of an item ahead.
He also could just die. They do spot Miracle with the ward, but he does have to be careful. Even though he's got like 960 HP, which will survive him from the combo. They have the Wrath of Nature as mid. Heal's coming out, and the Shadow Realm versus the Clockwork.
Yeah, they're fine. They could look to turn. The silence does come in from the side as Thompson will be able to bring down GH.
Thompson still getting a little bit here. As top, they know where Ana is. He's got to spin TP out.
Yeah, for the most part, that is going to pretty much save him each and every time this game. As long as he can get it off before he gets jumped by the combo opening of Miracle's Tiny.
And he did TP to the mid tier too, so he can join his team to potentially go for this tower push. But all of Team Nigma, they are set up in the area, and Miracle is just waiting at the wings for someone to step up too far for a toss back. So they will have to back away. Grouped up though again, still smoking. Looking to play around this ward. Might be able to catch my control here. Sox has got hookshot in 10. Might not even have to use it if he can just wrap around from behind. Yeah, they're just running right onto him. My control. Goes for the TP, but he'll get caught here. Saxa pushes him away, right into Ana. Oh, do they have the damage? It's close, and they do get him.
They have to blow the Omni Slash for this, and now maybe Nigma can come in for some sort of cleanup.
Miracle? The percent damage.
All right. It's actually OG. They're going to continue to clean up, and with the TPs up to top, they're looking to more. Kuro's able to dive away. Seeing OG able to kick back pretty hard. You know, they get ILTW down bottom and then back up on the top. They're taking down Mind Control. They're taking down Miracle.
Yeah, they can't underestimate the amount of damage that this Drow still can do. Thompson still not having a bad start at all. His Dragon Lance, he's got the Blade of Alacrity, and they always will have Firestorm. Percent-based damage versus that Tiny will always be extremely effective. Miracle does have to watch himself as he gives up a big kill streak. Saxa. He's getting surrounded, and the Brambles.
Yeah, with the Brambles, he can't escape this Sprout. You know, that sort of combo with the Brambles down. You can cut yourself out of Sprout, but there'll be a Bramble waiting for you.
And that's definitely seeing the points as to why they did go for this Nature's Prophet. You know, these just even the Treants are very problematic for a Clockwork to play around. As a ward does go up, they're looking for Thompson. He's tanky now, though. 1,600 HP. He's got the 5 stats plus the 2 points that he has put from earlier. Tough to bring him down. As I know in the back the T is going to be very happy from the item that my control queued up on Nature's Prophet. He's been raving about this one. The Aghanim's Nature's Prophet, if he does go for him. That global root is quite effective.
No, it's a long duration as well if you can get the get the bounces right, and you know, mind control Will. He knows how to hit hard with the Wrath.
And it lowers the cooldown is the important thing too by 25 seconds. It goes down to 60.
That's a big difference.
Very frequent inside of these fights, as we've seen. Team Nigma wants to play fast. And Saksa, it's a little bit tankier with the cloak, but is it tanky enough?
He's got the stick charges up.
I mean,
it is. The fear comes out. He'll get pushed back. He has got a hook shot if he wants to try and get back in and snipe Miracle. He's going to try, but just misses. Very, very close, but not able to get the connection, as Nigma will manage to back off. There won't lose anyone here.
Cloak does keep him alive, though. At least on the clockwork. Ana.
Not going to be able to commit him for this, as Miracle quickly out with the jump.
It's so much space, though. Where's ILTW been, right? He's just chilling. He's having an absolute free time. Sure, he gets picked off the once from playing just a bit too aggressive, but the way that Team Nigma's playing, just this constant aggression, it's forcing so many moves from OG to react to it, so they can't actually put attention onto this Spectre.
No, this free fire Spectre's definitely going to be a problem down the line here for OG.
Sab still knows that he is just too tough for them to deal with, just still too tanky, even though they do try to jump onto him.
Nana, how's he doing here? Still playing the catch-up game.
Yep. It's going to be quite some time before he does feel like he's back in it. And there's, it is a Jug versus the Nature's Prophet too, and so in these fights, he's got to watch out for a lot of Omni Slashes. If these Treants are around, they'll soak quite a bit of it if he can't. And there's just not a lot of easy Omni Slash targets for him. He does it on a Phoenix, there's an egg that can come out. He does it on Spectre, it's not the most effective. Willow, you pick Shadow Realm. Tiny, quite tanky. So it is going to be a hard game for Ana for sure. There's a 5k gold advantage with the late game advantage too, with a Spectre and a Phoenix in the draft. You can just feel that Team Nigma is in an incredibly comfortable position this game.
Yeah, those sort of kills on the cores that OG were just able to find, just not nearly quite enough to close up that advantage that Nigma have built up.
They're all here on Team Nigma.
Miracle's just spraying him with the jump. Onto No-Tail, they're burning him down with the stun ray. He's gone, Seb. He's going to look to try and rift out. They got the damage to take him out in time. Ooh, he's away.
Very close.
It is.
I wonder if Kuroki queues up the Spirit Vessel now. He's got a lot of gold on this Phoenix right now. He already has the urn, so could be a pretty nice pickup if he does go for it.
Well, Topston.
Oh, is he going to actually get brought down here? The hook shot? Oh, the stun actually potentially saving him there, Saksa.
I think it might have, yeah. If they were able to get a few more right clicks in, they would have managed to take Topson down, but Saksa getting in, disrupting them from getting the right clicks on.
Ana, Invis up, potentially trying to look for something here, but...
Oh, can he go for a solo Omni Slash?
No,
it's level 2.
It's 16 armor on this Tiny.
That's true.
Way too tanky.
Even with that magical burst, it's not going to be enough.
Nope. OG will find themselves a nice Philosopher's Stone. They don't have that superhero that does carry it, though, like the Phoenix that we do see a lot of the times. It's, of course, an excellent pickup for them, but... As Kuroki, okay, he's actually going to go Holy Lock it. So the Sunray heals, they're going to be impactful. Been seeing a lot more of these pickups on these, and just like everybody, actually. Holy Lock it overall is just becoming a lot more popular.
No, I like it this game when you have that beefy core, right? That you are just looking to just buff up completely. I mean, if Kuro is able to find an angle to sit back and just fully Sunray up RTW, good luck trying to kill the Spectre.
Even just the wand charges that you can pump into him too. Spectre is a hero that does use quite a lot of mana with your constant dagger spam. Is GH. It's the Yules.
He's able to get the Shadow Realm up, but he's pushed back into the root. He'll manage to root them himself. I got the arrows flying through from Thompson. GH is looking to get the fear off. He gets it on the turn. He's going to live.
Oh my goodness.
GH is away.
They can't even kill the Willow.
That's got to hurt. They need these kills, OG. They're just slipping further and further behind against this Spectre lineup.
And mind control, he's got Ags. So we've got that global root coming into play too that can be quite problematic.
Ags on the Prophet, Echo Saber done on Miracle, so his combo now going to have that additional punch to it.
And ILTW, Blade Mail plus Manta already finished up, queuing up that Diffusal immediately afterwards. This game feels super hard for OG to win any team fights. They can get small pickoffs, perhaps, with the Drow, but fighting overall just feels quite impossible.
No-Tail.
He's just burning.
I mean, he tries to go for a poke onto Kuroki. He's just dead. He can't mess around with the Phoenix.
Oh, and they find Ana as well. And it's an Ancient stack on top.
Oh, no. That ain't great here for OG.
And they have Manta, so they can go into Roche. There's no jug for 35.
Looks like Thompson will still be able to clean up the bigger of the Ancients, but
they're going to get a Roche for it, so...
They are with 2 members down on OG, and even when OG has the full team up right now, they are still struggling to fight Nigma as a team.
This is one of the... Nigma's just playing the most aggressive I feel like I've seen all season.
They're going to try and start things onto Miracle. Miracle's going to have backup. He can just stand his ground and drop the combo onto Sax. The Supernova coming out. Seb's got to back away. He's going to pop the ult. He's trapped in the Sprout. Have they got the damage? They do. Seb's not getting out of this. And Seb and Saxa will fall. Miracle is ready to look for more. Jumps in on Thompson. Thompson able to push the back with the 4-man gust. Turns towards the Tiny. They'll bring down Miracle, but Thompson's going to die for this as ILTW stays on top of him. NOTAL trying to bring down GH, but GH back into the Shadow Realm. He's away. ILTW will dagger into the trees to keep himself safe.
Mind control.
ILTW's ready to go back in. He's looking for NOTAL, but the healing ward's out. So a lot of sustain and heal here for NOTAL. ILTW alone will not have the damage to get this kill.
They do get the one. They prevent the Roche from being finished.
It cost them a buyback,
It does cost them a buyback. And go back up. Wrath of Nature back online too with that Aghanims cooldown.
Everybody to the pit here right now.
Yep. And Kuroki, he's got the 20 Holy Locket charges, so he can pump up, and then he's got that increased heal, of course. Egg is on cooldown. It's still very difficult for OG to walk right in.
Ana really wants to get this Roche done.
They're scouting nicely with the rockets, at least onto the high ground. ILTW shows face for a second. Starting to work on it.
They're trying to take it here, OG. Healing was down, Miracle's in straight away with the jump onto Ana. Ana's able to get the playthrough off in time. Sunray's coming in, though, out to the side with the healing ward. Ana has to run. He's very low right now. ILTW is standing in the Roche, but he's trying to finish Roche. Can he do so in time? Dive will get the kill, but Thompson's able to snatch the Aegis as Thompson picks it up, takes down ILTW, and over to the side, Mind Control is getting run down, blocked off by Seb, as OG, they won't get the kill on Roche, but they get what matters. Thompson grabs the Aegis, and they'll take the team fight around the pit.
It feels like if they don't get that Aegis, the game is probably just over very soon.
If Spectre has a second life there.
Yeah. So it's very fortunate that they do get for themselves, and they get some big kills on all 3 cores being brought down here. Do lose Ana again, though. He is continuing to just struggle and struggle in this game.
Well, I think, as you said, a lot on this. At the moment, really, you're looking to Thompson to be the carry here as the Drought.
Yep.
See what he can do here for the team.
They're respawning. They have Egg. It's level 2 as well. Seb, starting to burn.
And with the combo.
It's tanky, though. Miracle.
They're going to try and go for Miracle.
ILTW's in on Thompson.
He's straight away forcing back the Drought. Seb, he's going to look to try and take them out of here with the Rift. He's up in the air. He's not going to be able to take Saxon back, but he will manage to take home Thompson.
Ooh, GH tried for a big play there. Using the Underlord and then trying to fear Thompson to pull him away from it. Almost gets it successfully, but...
That's some big brain stuff.
Yeah, that was actually so big brain when I saw it. I was like, wow, that's actually pretty cool, but... doesn't actually connect with it, and now OG, they didn't go back that far. They are looking to still continue trying to fight. Since Egg is down and Haunt is down.
And they still have this Aegis. No, Thompson's going to feel very strong right now with that second life. They have Omni-Slash ready to go, OG. Still playing from behind here, down 10 to 24, 6k lead for Nigma. But they're making sure that Nigma doesn't grow any further.
Yep, they keep getting on top of Miracle. This time, though, Hastrun, and he does have Kuroki behind him. Kuro also picking up the shard. Didn't get to point that out quickly as we did hit 20 minutes. The Sunray during that Egg. Very potent. GH.
And Sax is looking for this.
It's hunting him.
What? He's got him. He's in.
Realm TP. Doesn't go for it. And he'll get brought down.
Thompson will be happy with that. Able to walk over, claim the kill for himself.
And now they will at least have some better forms of catch and better forms of initiation. Also on OG is Seb, he's got his Atos. Very good item, especially versus that Tiny, gonna be quite effective.
Oh, we'll see Thompson has, yeah, they did the full Hurricane Pike, so he himself, a lot more ways to slide around the team fights.
They've slowed down the game quite nicely here.
They have.
Spectre.
4k lead now for Nigma. It is beginning to dwindle.
Still scary. As the Spectre is massive. And once he does get the Fusel, it's easier for him to stick on these targets, in particular the Drow, because he can cast that slow when he is gusted anyway, so he can just stick on top of Drow inside of these fights. As Nigma's looking to fight.
Let's see what GH can do here.
They've got the Egg.
Trying with the setup, but Thompson quickly pops the Manta over to the side. Mind Control teeping in, but it gets caught out by the hook shot. The Cogs will push back the two of them. They're trying to get GH out of there, but GH is going to go down. The Supernova's pop. They're trying to focus. It can
Is it gonna die?
take down the egg in time. I don't think they can. They can't. The Supernova successful. Kuro managing to stun the three of them. Seb's looking to bail them out. Rift out, ready to take Thompson and No-Tail home. He's able to do so. So Seb will limit the casualties here for OG. Ends up being a 1-for-1.
That was close.
Oh. All right.
Oh, no. Omni Slash now down. Ana continuing to struggle, as we've said. Not an easy game for the Jug.
A lot of little things like that that's going to break his opportunity of getting on someone.
And ILTW, he's got the defusal finished up. With Haunt available too. So might even just TP back to base soon to be able to be at the ready to fight if they do find something. As he TP's back, picks it up. And let's
Ooh, they really wanted to catch Miracle there.
They had the sentries ready too, because he does have that invis in the bottle.
He's got a minute left on this Aegis, Thompson. So
level 18 too, so he's got level 3 marksmanship up.
Oh, mind control. Saxa.
He's got a BKB. Should be just fine versus
Saxa. Oh, yeah, Saxa doesn't want to waste time messing with this.
No. And they're going to push out the top wave, while OG tries to pick this fight while they still have Aegis for 30 seconds. Egg also going to be back up soon. They also find themselves a ceremonial robe on the side of Team Nigma. So Miracle will carry that one for now. Also, just, I mean, that item overall, like when you have the overall like dominant team fight and you get a robe, it just feels so good because you just have even more dominant fight. As they are under some ward vision here. Sox are trying to make a grab.
He's going to try and lead in onto Miracle. He's got him caught in the cogs here, but the back of the current GH is coming out from the side. The Sunray keeping Miracle alive. Is it enough though? As the field will try and push them back, but not before Miracle goes down.
Healing ward full duration as well too, so they're all full HP, even though they tank that Sunray. Nice grab from Soxa. No Force Stabs being picked up. Important to point out on the side of Team Nigma, not just yet. Yules on the Dark Willow, just more greedy items coming out from the two supports. So these hook shots will be effective on this Tiny in most situations.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
3k gold lead now, only.
They're holding on to this OG. They really are. Thompson incredibly farmed, only just behind that of Mind Control. Seb, beginning the AC next, looking to move into the Ags after.
Oh, okay. He's tanky. Oh, DD bottom.
Oh, Thompson.
Finds himself an Orb of Destruction as well, too.
Oh, that's a lot of damage.
Look at that, 504 per hit.
Mind Control.
He's just hiding for now.
They're not going to search any further down here. Whoever Thompson finds, No-Tail will find.
Oop, they see each other for a second.
Yep. Thompson's still looking for it. Oh, he found Miracle, but actually Miracle's found him.
Thompson.
Is it on the Thompson? They've got the healing wall coming out. The Supernova's in place. There's Anna
got the focus.
Thompson. They try and focus it. They'll be able to take it down. But Thompson, he's dead. Out for 70. Seb will manage to take the rest of them back. But Thompson goes down. Of course, the Aegis had come to an end. And so, along with that, will Thompson's life.
Such quick plays coming out, too. They instantly try to rift him out of there, but not quite able to. They bring down the egg, though. Very quick focus fire every single time here. The Jug, the Drow, very effective to be able to do that. But Nigma, they do get that initiation to be able to get Thompson. Ana. Have to be a little careful. Got the spin popped already.
His TP's on cooldown, but he has got a lot of backup. OG's here with the four of them, and he has Omni Slash at the ready if Ana wants to get back in. It's over to the side, Saxa. Focused by the combo, Miracle Saxa. He's still alive somehow here, but finally Mind Control's able to take him down with the damage here. Miracle is focusing No-Tail. No-Tail also trapped in the trees. As OG, they try and poke back. It won't work out. Nigma more than happy to take a fight on these terms.
I think OG really has to just wait for Thompson in most of these situations. He's so important just for the damage and even just the marksmanship aura.
Miracle's in. Starting to use on the Zep, they're just doing so much while Thompson's dead. A double buyback comes out from OG in an attempt to catch Nigma here on the retreat.
To bail them away.
Saxon does have the hook shot if he's able to close in on this.
Can he get an angle, though? It doesn't quite look like it just yet.
That's two buybacks there, forced out And nothing to be lost because of it. On Nigma, they get everybody out in time.
And these buybacks, it's usually very crucial to save them for these big Roshan engagements. That does mean OG's not going to have them. If these two heroes go in first and they die, they won't be able to come back into the fight. It's very important, because that's where the next fight's very likely to kick off, as the ultis on Team Nigma will be coming back up shortly. 30 on Spectre, 15 on the Nature's Prophet. So definitely going to see some warding in the area from both sides very soon. Oh, I wonder if the Spectre does go for this build. ILTW's got a pretty funky one. He's got the Arcane Blink queued up after Basher. I wonder if he does go for it.
I like
That'd be the first time I've ever seen something like that. But
if he's going Arcane, I want to see him get Ags as well, I'll be honest.
I mean, I would really much so prefer just a Scotty in this lineup versus a Jug versus a Drow. So effective.
Think about it.
Think about it.
The cooldown, and the style points. You know, everyone's trying to do something different. Everyone wants to be a trendsetter, especially out of these two teams. You know it. These players like to bring something new to the table.
Ana just getting diffused up for some harass. Nigma has everything available for themselves right now. Split pushing the side lanes, both of these offlaners doing the kind of same thing. Mind control pushing top, Seb forcing down bottom. Seb nearly has his AC finished up. That's going to be pretty huge for his team. There's not a lot of just like straight physical damage on Nigma, but that'll still help a lot. He's spouted.
Seb.
Pure damage.
Oh, man, he's just getting torn apart here by RTW. That's in dip for 100 seconds.
And it's okay, good. Roche is going to be up in 5 seconds as well.
Saxa is able to come with a hook shot, but Miracle's quick with a response. Jumps in, blows up Saxa.
The Gust, the silence.
They're trying to push him with the Blade Fury. GH ready at the side to help out. Anna starting to back off, goes over to the side. Mind control's coming, looking towards Tops of the Supernova's pop. They've got to start running away here, OG.
Topson, he's in trouble.
He's being trapped here by the Brambles. They're in on top of him. Topson can't run. It's 3 dead on OG. Maybe even 4. Anna, he's got the Blade Fury TP. They've not got anything to put a stop to it. So Anna makes it out. It's 3 dead. It's easily going to be enough window here for Nigma to take this Roshan with 3 heroes down for pretty much a minute.
Yep. And a clutch fear tip from Mind Control onto GH. As soon as they pop the egg, he fears into the backline, catches Topson, and from there they can just chase him out and clean it up.
And this is, I mean, who's taking the shard here this game?
I can give it to either Miracle or ILTW, I do think. Feels pretty effective on the two of them here.
Yeah, you're right. Looks like Miracle's going to take it. We see back in the action here, Saxa desperately trying to help out, but Miracle able to wait for the counterplay, gets in with the combo, and still, just with the lead that some of the heroes on Nigma have, very hard for Anna to have an impact, especially when there's just so many units. These Omni Slashes are so hard to just sort of find the perfect situation to drop them.
And if he uses spin in those situations aggressively, that means that they can't spin and hit the egg as effectively. He can't be as covered either.
No, it's a hard jug game.
Yeah, it is. It's just been very difficult for Ana the entire game here as Nigma 14k gold lead, re-secure their position in the game. And now just have a clear window to be able to dominate most of these fights.
That's money Kuro's got as well. He's working his way very close towards the Aghanims.
Oh, okay. Lots of luxury on these supports for sure on the side of Team Nigma this time around. Outpost will be taken away as well. GH will claim that. ILTW does buy the ulti, by the way. He's being sensible.
Just memeing.
He's being a sensible boy.
As much as I'd like to see the Arcane Blink Spectre,
the Brute! The Global Brute! You can't TP out! Even though the stun isn't there for the Spectre, the Global Brute, it's beautiful. As Saxa inevitably brought down from the Spectre.
And there's going to be some more chaos being brought here as well.
And he's keeping the base and getting mana, so he's going to be able to haunt back in the fight if it does kick off. So OG not going to look to take the fight themselves. They're just going to ditch No Tail. 80 seconds, no Enchantress.
Oh my goodness. I mean, there was sort of a moment this game where it kind of felt like, hey, maybe OG's managing to slow this down, and then a few moments later, no, they weren't. They really weren't at all. Nigma back to full steam ahead here.
It really is such a tough game for them to really win any of the actual team fights just because of what they're up against. Like this Spectre and Phoenix, the early game went way too well for Team Nigma. They're all so farmed. They can constantly just look for these fights. Seb nearly having AC to be able to counteract the opposing AC that Mind Control has. But yeah, Mind Control, it's a reason that he's been always known as like this best Nature's Prophet for the last few years. Top net worth, 9-3-14, the build. Excellent this game. It really did feel like the perfect game for it here.
Maybe. Ooh. Miracle.
My god, the damage with the quiver as well,
back
too.
to
Like,
killing.
woo, doesn't even have to use the E-Blade. The quiver damage plus that combo, it's too much. Ana?
Oh.
He's just dead.
Oh, no.
This game is quite impossible.
It's a
for
pretty
OG.
tough one, and things are falling rapidly apart. I mean, this one, just overall, you know, the lead that Nigma's grown is... It's making it look even more one-sided than game one.
Yep.
Considering this was a game as well where OG had, I said, a sort of a grace period where they were able to slow things down, but the overall game plan just not looking to be there from OG as Nigma.
Nope.
They've just come in with the smarter execution, and they're outplaying them completely. And as you say, mind control and the Prophet. Maybe something that OG just weren't ready for. I mean, it's mind control. You know, his Prophet's insane. As you say, we just don't see the hero too much from most teams, if any, in this region. Mind control, just showing us that he's as scary as ever on it.
Yeah, and it's smart picks from Nigma, right? They see the early Drow, they pick the Spectre to counter it.
And they're trying to jump ILTW here.
Heals. It's too much.
It is. ILTW just barely taking any damage at all without Sunray coming up. The Sunray does come to an end, though. See the fear from the side, trying to push them back. ILTW is going to get rooted. They'll bring him down once. They can't do it again, though. OG's got to back away with the Supernova going off. It's over to the side. No-Tail caught outside the base. The Brambles are down. No-Tail surrounded as they'll bring the Enchantress slowly out of the game. As Ana...
Omni?
Some of the Omni, but the cheese is
cheese
there.
is there.
Minecraft just have the full HP. Ana's trying to push him with the Blade Fury onto Miracle. Will bring down the Tiny, but now the Blade Fury coming to an end. Ana's got to run. Mind Control commits it with the BKB. Kuro moving in with the Sunray as Kuro will finally fall to the Firestorm. But ILTW on Mind Control, they just smash into Thompson, take down the Drow. Another fight where OG just cannot come out on top.
Fortunate to even get some kills there as they do that high ground advantage to be able to take out at least the Phoenix and the Tiny. But yeah, ILTW, as we said, with that Aegis, level 25, he's got that Dispersion talent plus the heals. They barely can actually hurt him. They even bring him down to once. Mind Control, 7,400 gold for this man.
Oh, he's got the Trickster Cloak as well if he wants to keep hold of it, ILTW, so...
A very nice pick.
Even more unkillable. Saxa. 2 rounds of the hook shot. Buys time for Seb to come in, but ILTW in fact just jumps straight over towards Seb. Moves in with the illusion. Seb's gone. So is Saxa.
And now No-Tail, he's trapped.
I mean, ILTW Mind Control, they're just going to keep pushing on. Ana's got to run. Plus the Blade Fury's making his way up to the base. ILTW, he's tempted to chase.
He sure is.
He's moving in. There's no Blade Fury. There's no Omni Slash. Ana just dying helpless here behind the tier 3 in the barracks.
The Spectre's just way too massive. No-Tail also likely to get brought down. Does have the Glimmer to survive for some time, but that does mean the Rax is going to get focus fired. As, Mind Control gets the secondary sprout.
He's just going in Mind Control. He doesn't care about the tier 4 towers.
Oh, BKB.
He's fine. BKB and a walk. He's
himself.
ready to take Seb as well.
Oh, he's just dead.
Oh my goodness.
That was a buyback into an instant death, and they're going to get healed
and
up
Mind
from the
Control's
stun, right?
out. ILTW is in no situation of threat at all. He'll TP away as the creeps will finish the reaction. Miracle comes in for the final hit.
Good shot. Oh, beautiful.
He's caught Kuro Saxa.
Can they get the kill, though?
I
The
don't
Brute,
think
he's
they
stuck
can.
in place, and he cannot chase forward. Seb may have been tanky for some time, but versus this pure damage, Desolate just rips right through him.
ILTW just having a fantastic series on the carry.
Yeah.
Both games, TB and then this one, the Spectre feels like he's getting even more involved this time around, and there he has it. He's found the illusion escape for himself. So
baby.
His threat at the Spectre's going to be even bigger if he wants to hold on to that one.
If he even needs it. I feel like Trickster Club might just be better at this point.
Well, you should have just taken
how tanky he is.
He's killing
honestly.
everyone anyway.
Yeah,
Who
he doesn't
cares
even
about
need
a
it.
slight boost to the illusion damage?
Yeah, look at this. Just, you see, like, the way that ILTW understands, too. He's like, oh, who cares if Seb's tanky? I have pure damage. Rips right through the Underlord when he's isolated.
Oh, just looking fantastic this series, Nigma.
Super
They have turned up to this series very, very ready, and OG just...
Ana?
What do they do? Mind Control, BKB and a TP out, he's out. Again, GH giving the coverage with the fear, making sure that OG's not allowed the time and space to continue to come in onto the Mind Control.
Saxa will die again. 14 deaths.
No, level 27.
27. Trickster Cloak as well, providing all this evasion.
And Miracle's in. He's found the Avalanche. Mind Control ready to jump forward to the front lines as well as ILTW. They take down No-Tail. Ana's trying to spin his way out with the Blade Fury, but the damage is too much with the physical. They take down Ana, take down Saxa.
The Gs are going to get dropped.
I mean, it's getting dangerously close to the fountain here now. Omni Slash, again, just doing nothing at this stage of the game as it's a dieback from Ana. Seb, he's going to try and rift himself out of the server. Only makes it as far as the fountain as everybody's dead. GG is called. Woo. Another rough one here for OG as Nigma have just a beautiful series. Both games, Team Nigma looking perfect.
They are, and it's really crazy to say. It's 50 kills on the team with a Spectre. The team with the Drow Jug only gets 17. Can't actually dictate the pace at all. Nigma just another level today. They hit their stride, super early aggression. Everybody on point working so well together. OG falling apart to this aggression.
A tough series. A lot of deaths were had this series. Poor old Sax. I think Saxer ended up dying 31 times in these two games. Not an easy game for him to play. And as Nigma, they were just making moves. I mean, the maximum deaths you're seeing on Nigma is like 5 on GH, 5 on Miracle. It's just nothing in comparison because of... I mean, is this just for you when you look at this game? Well, what is it that's just allowed Nigma to pop off even harder than what we saw in game 1?
They've got some really good counter picks, that's for sure. Like the Spectre versus that Drow. We see the damage just being able to shred versus Underlord. Or even though there's Atrophy Aura, Spectre doesn't care about that in later stages. The Desolate is just piercing right through it. They also have just like this clockwork. The game is not easy for him. We see these Treants being difficult. We see the Shadow Realm being difficult. An Egg comes out. There's not a lot of easy targets for OG to actually go for. And Nigma, they just dictate